You can't sing that. That's copyrighted.
Because I was singing it so well.
I'm recording right now. Don't sing any more copyrighted music. Also, I'm so glad you brought it up so that I can. Why are you bullying me for my cable management?
You held it up like you hold up a fish and you go, this is what takes me so long to get set up. And it's just all of her, it's her microphone, it's her
webcam,
your camera, a random cord is in there.
A couple cords are in there. Yeah, they're not related. Yeah. They're just
unnecessary. That's crazy
Guys,
to me.
Cable management is something that was created by Big Apple to make you feel bad about wadding all your cords up into a ball.
Dude,
they work the same if they're knotted.
Are they still not? Like, you didn't untangle them to plug them in?
No.
That's
I just kind
crazy.
I do it like halfway. Like, there's still some knots in it, but like it's fine. I loosen the knots. How about that?
That's crazy. But it is funny because I think of us too. I would predict that I would be the one who would have worse cable management. But one thing I do not fuck around with is cables. And I think it's from being from a long line of electricians who do not fuck around with things just like laying around like that. I think you would give my dad a heart attack if he saw that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it in mind. Don't show him my cable management. I would hate to stress the man. And I'm not ashamed of it. So on that note, are we ready to start the podcast? Hello, everybody. My name is Andrea.
And I'm MJ.
And this is another episode of the Laps Down podcast. It's a very special episode, might I say, because you are listening right now, not only on the day of the rapture, but also the day of MJ's birth. Woo!
Wow. Yep.
So how is 18 treating you?
I'm turning 18 or I'm 18 right now?
Turning 18.
She's great. That's crazy.
I'm just kidding. She's like well above 18, but please don't be weird to her.
No, please don't be weird to me. But super excited to be raptured and then also 27 at the same time. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, 2 birds, 1 stone. Am I right? We also are very excited because today's episode, we're going to be talking about F1, IndyCar, NASCAR, but we also have another special guest this week, and that is Miss IMSA. Welcome to the stage, Miss IMSA. And so we will talk about that at the end. What a good drag name. Somebody should use IMSA.
Miss IMSA? I think we aren't tapping into the motorsport drag community enough because it's like drag racing, guys, it's right there. It's just like you would have to, if you were a drag queen, you'd have to dip your toes into motorsport, and I don't know if that's super appealing.
Well, come on Laps Down. We would love to have you.
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Any other admin? I don't think so. Just if you wanted to give us 5 stars, that would be fun. Feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube if you want. Also, if you follow us on TikTok at Lapsdown Pod, maybe follow us on Instagram. I don't know what is going on there. So we're on the same at Lapsdown Pod, whatever. F1. The weekend started off with, I think, probably a content goldmine, which would be our paddock cat named Matcha. Did you have any thoughts on Matcha?
I don't know if I know what this means.
You didn't see all the Instagram and TikTok stuff about the cat in the paddock?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I did. Maybe it just didn't resonate with me.
How do you avoid like motorsports content in such a way? Like, I genuinely think it's admirable.
It's all because I see like it's just all NASCAR content at this point. I'm like, I don't even know if there is an F1 race, but I do think I saw something. I'm on Rapture Talk. I am. I saw a picture of Max holding a cat that was like illustrated like as a recap of this weekend, but I thought it was just like Max and his cats.
No, okay, so Baku, the paddock had like a bunch of stray cats in it, and there was one particularly nice cat that they tried to like kick out several times, and he just like kept coming back. So all the teams kind of just like were like, the cat gets to stay now. And the cat's name was Matcha.
That's cute.
Yuki made a video with the cat in which he walked around the cat like it was going to attack him, and this cat looked like so chill, like literally was like purring and rolling over, and Yuki was like, yeah, I love cats, as he's walking like a COVID safe distancing away from this cat. Ollie pet the cat, but then the cat moved too fast and it scared Ollie. I don't know. I'm just giving you all the info I can. Mercedes,
I love it.
Somehow captured the cat and brought it into their hospitality and did a full photo shoot with the cat, in which the cat was like holding Kimi Antonelli's like mini helmet and stuff. It was like a lot. Like I was like, okay, but yeah, every team was like, Laura Winters and James Hinchcliffe held the cat.
Interesting. And this is like and this is, I don't know. I might not have, and that's super cared.
And that's what I sent you. My mom, okay, if you guys have been following the pod for a little bit, my mom doesn't really know that much about F1, and she decided she only cares about Max Verstappen, and she decided to hard launch her love for Max Verstappen on Maine this week, because she on Facebook shared this thing from Max Verstappen fans, and it's just Max in the cat, because she thinks that they like have the same vibe. So I don't know. The cat made an impression. What do you think about that?
I love that. I love a cat. Isn't there another place where there's a cat as well? Or is it just this cat? Maybe I'm thinking of like last year we talked about the cat.
But
maybe I'm thinking of the groundhogs.
Maybe. Yeah. There's like little furry visitor. I think in like one of the other races this year there was a fox.
Oh yeah, just recently.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because like Charles was like, "What's up? That's a fox," and I was like kind of impressed that he could spot that.
Yeah, DC was like, "There's no way you could know that was a fox."
Psych. He was correct. Okay, I just thought I would share that with you. Glad we could talk about it.
It's cute.
So that was all happening around practice, and practice was very interesting this week. First of all, we were told that on media day, George Russell was going to be out sick. And on Friday, he was on practice, and he sounded like the lady from SpongeBob, the like chocolate. They're selling chocolate, like meme. That's what he sounded like, though, like genuinely. And I thought there was a part of me that thought like we're about to get a Valtteri Bottas appearance this weekend. I was really excited, low key, because I was like, he's going to serve his 5-place grid penalty, so he doesn't have to serve it at Cadillac, and then he's going to get out there. It's going to be fun.
Could you imagine a spot opens up the one weekend Fred Vesti's busy? I would have lost my mind.
Yeah. Fred Vesti was busy like doing other things like that were like winning. More worth his time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
You know, why would you miss out on Battle on the Bricks when you could make your F1 debut? It's so silly, you know what I mean? Really,
yeah, not worth it.
Who's to be bothered with that? But yeah, he came back on Friday. He sounded insane. A couple other interesting things we had for practice. The Ferraris were kind of testing different setups, but they looked fast. They looked very fast. And the Ferrari fandom was feeling lucky. Do you have anything to say to them? It's okay if you want to pass. If you have nothing nice to
I would like to. I'm trying to get raptured tomorrow, so I think I'll keep it to myself.
Another point in practice, the medium tires looked to be faster than the soft tires, which I think was interesting. They keep trying to bring these softer compounds. And some of them, it seems like their softest compound is almost maybe too much, and people just refer back to the mediums, which in most cases would have been the soft tire. It's very confusing, but I think it's interesting. It doesn't actually seem to work on fixing any of the strategy that we would like to see play out in these races, but
they gotta
it's fun to make them pretend.
What about like we bring the Bristol butter tires? We've already had this conversation, but I think
have we?
Maybe I've said it out loud before. Whether anybody was there to hear it, I'm not sure. But they should bring the Bristol butter tires to F1 just for like one race.
Monaco.
Monaco.
Wait, could you imagine F1 drivers being like, for some reason, just the front right is being really weird? Why?
They're
What's
like,
that about?
what do you mean we can pit for just 2 tires? Is that like beneficial in any way? And also, why is George
Why?
Russell getting smoked out of his car right now? Does anyone know what's
What's going
happening?
on there? What's going on there? Huh. Another interesting thing that came out of practice, because they do a lot of riffing in practice. You are familiar now with the F1 TV riffing. They riff in like a way that's better, I think, than the Sky Sports commentating team.
Yeah, they don't riff
And
on Sky Sports.
yeah, this week they decided in their free time to talk about how the current leader at F2 is not connected to any driver academy program and thus is not really connected to getting a seat for any F1 team in particular next year, even as like a reserve or anything. And they were talking about like the Formula ladder system being like broken. If you have people winning Formula 2 not getting a seat, but then you have people like Kimmy or Paul Aaron or even Jack Doohan who like didn't win but like have connections to a specific team and thus get the opportunity. I think it's interesting because I feel like we like to watch Indy Next, and we've heard a lot this year about how somebody as talented as Dennis can like be like, I didn't see a future for myself in F1. Do you think that there would ever be a day where Formula One would fix their formula system? Do you think that would it be beneficial for them to somehow make it so the winner gets some sort of seat in the way that Indy Next tries to achieve?
The thing with Formula One is like people are always going to want to get into Formula One. People are going to continue to pay all the money to do F4, F3, F2. Like there's no monetary benefit, in my opinion, for Formula One to be like, let's make a logical like route to getting in Formula One because the people with money are going to get here anyways. So it's like there's no really benefit for them to give a scholarship for the F2 winner the way that like there's a little bit of a benefit in IndyCar because there's less talent out there for IndyCar as there is for Formula One just because of like how big the series are. But I truly don't see, unless something happens that would benefit them, like changing the rule in the moment, then I could see them doing it. Like the same way with like the super license. But outside of that, I'm like, is Formula One not benefiting from us or from like never letting any of these F2 drivers in? Like they're just, a lot of the teams are calling back retired drivers anyways.
Yeah, I think it's like you see Cadillac created 2 new seats on the grid and they went to veterans. Now their situation is like they need people that can give feedback on the car, and I'm understanding of it. But it's very interesting because I think that the Formula Series stuff is so dependent on the year in which you find success. Like last year was the perfect year for all these rookies to come in. But like, why would you hire a rookie right before a new regulation series comes in? Why not stick with who you have? There's not a lot of people moving seats because they don't know where they want to move to because everybody's just trying to see how everybody does with the new regulations. And it's like sad because we're probably going to end up with like another F2 champion, like kind of like a Teo Pourchaire type of like,
good luck.
And now what? Because it's like you're just the wrong place, wrong time. And I will say, like, it is admirable, even if it is maybe still a system that could be improved, how you do see people that win Indy Next, for example, able to have a shot at something in IndyCar.
It makes it worthwhile. It makes it, it also makes it interesting. There's something interesting about Formula One and the ladder system is Formula One like rarely acknowledges the like feeder series as much as I think IndyCar does a pretty good job. They could obviously do a better job of being like the talent is integrated into the higher series. Like if you watch just IndyCar, you could probably still name a handful of Indy Next drivers. Whereas I think right now, gun to my head, if you ask me to name more than a single F2 driver, I mean, I'm done. And I tune into, well, but to be fair, I couldn't name the Baku cat. So maybe I'm just a bad fan. But there's such a disconnect. And I think that that's somewhere that F1 benefit or it hurts F1 a little bit because like nobody cares if any of the F2 drivers come in if you're not paying attention to F2.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting because there's so many like excuses in a way kind of made when teams hire somebody that was like a 7th place in F2, like, or like a 12th place in F2. They go, oh, well, like the cars are so different from each other and stuff like that. And it's like, you look at people like in NASCAR, they go from trucks to cup.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, those are different than each other. But it's like, there still has to be some legitimacy here to you finding talent. If you're telling me that like somebody who's first in this feeder series is not the best person to go into Formula One, okay, maybe I could understand you, but then it's like, if you're telling me the person in 13th is, then I'm like, okay, now what the fuck are we doing here? I don't really know I don't understand what we're doing here. I do also think like it's interesting, this like academy structure. You know what I mean? Like you have to like be tied to a team and then hope they have a seat open up. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I thought MJ would find this an interesting conversation and I added it to the doc. And I'm glad we could talk about how much F2 maybe wasting everybody's time.
It sure sounds like it. I don't know. Who am I to say? If you want to get a ride, you should probably come to Indy next. It'll be really fun. We can all hang out in Milwaukee. It'll be sick.
It'll be blast. And when Colton Herta gets like 9th next year in F2 and you hear me saying, yeah, but he's actually probably still going to be the best person for the Cadillac seat, I don't want to hear shit, okay? Just so you know. I'm glad we got that out of the way. It's different. It's completely different. And you guys would never understand. Glad we got that out of the way. So on to qualifying. What is the matter with you people? What's the matter with you people? Do we need to go back to F2 or something? Did we forget how to drive? What's going on here? First time at Baku for all you guys or something? I don't understand. It was the most red flags a F1 qualifying session has ever had. It took 2 hours.
High score.
It took 2 hours. Let's run through it. So our first person who unlocked the cautions breed cautions Pandora's box is none other than Alex Albon, who hit the wall very early on in Q1, and it brought out a red flag. Thoughts?
That'll happen.
Okay. It'll happen. Next, we have Nico Hülkenberg, who hits the barrier also in Q1 and brings out a red flag.
Rats.
Okay, at the end of Q1, they have 6 minutes left. A lot of people obviously do not have laps on the board yet because of all these red flags, including Kimi Antonelli, who had one of his laps deleted for track limits. So Toto comes on the radio and gets like to be a little bit pushy towards Kimi and kind of does the like, you can still do this. You just have to like focus up. Thoughts?
Sounds encouraging.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I didn't watch. I don't know what the words actually were.
It was just like a very sternly worded, like, you need to put in a time right now. And it's like, well, I think he knows that. I think probably by nature of that's how every qualifying session has ever worked ever. I think he probably doesn't need you coming on the radio at that moment when he's pulling out of the pits to let him know he needs to put in a good qualifying lap. Something tells me that was in his plans. It was on his to-do list. You know what I mean? Like, what do you get from that? Like, he's like literally being crushed under the pressure. And Toto's like, I think we should put another brick on top just in case.
I think if you pay someone enough money, you're allowed to put a couple bricks on top.
Is Kimi even getting paid? Do we know for sure?
Oh, you think this is like an internship or something?
Yes. Yes. I'm like, can we like be confirmed that he's actually getting paid? Actually, I do know he's getting paid because I was on Twitter the other day and Stan Twitter decided to feed me a video of him. He bought his like girlfriend a purse for her birthday. And he was like, she already knows what it is because she was there when I fucking bought it. And it was the first time I'd ever seen Kimi use the F word. And I was like, now, son, we do not use those words in this house. But he did it in an Italian accent, so it was kind of funny. Thoughts?
I do think the Italian accent is funny. Agreed.
Yeah, I fucking bought it for it. I was like, whoa,
Whoa, Kimmy. He's changed.
You really hit that. You really hit that cuss word hard. That was crazy. Okay, well, can't wait to see how this turns out for Kimmy. Franco hits the wall with a few seconds of Q1 left, right as Pierre is going off into the runoff. This was so confusing. This was
not
so
an Alpine.
confusing. They did it at the same time, so they were like, oh, like, red flag because Pierre is in the runoff. Like, I was like, that's not a red flag situation. Like, just so you guys know, like, you don't actually have to red flag somebody just going off in the runoff. And then it just hard cuts to the other Alpine in the wall, and they go, oh, that's what the red flag is for, huh? That'll do her. Now there's a rumor. So there's a clip of Flavio Brigatore. Fuck that guy's. You know who I'm talking about. He's in the garage. Flava Flav. Yep. He announced, he like says the words like, that's it, he's done. And people are like, is that him saying Franco's losing his seat? Now, how crazy do you think it would be to like make that decision live on camera during qualifying? What do you think? Do you think maybe he was talking about he's done with the session? Or do you think he was out loud exclaiming, somebody fire that kid?
Oh, I sure hope it's the second one. But I feel like, I don't know. I sure hope it's the second one.
hey, to any Argentinian fan, she doesn't mean it. She does not mean it.
No, he's not having a good season. And I think you should get rid of him. But I also think you should get rid of Pierre if that makes you feel any better. It's not just Franco. It's both of them.
Like, Pierre's
gotta
like
go.
A toxic relationship with them. Like,
he's on a 30-year commitment with them. Yeah. He's doing the same thing that Charles is doing with Ferrari, but in a much more sad and pathetic way.
Yeah, you can't even aura farm at Alpine. I mean, you can aura farm till the cows come home at Ferrari.
Yeah.
Like, at least Charles gets to look cool while he's depressed.
Right.
What do you get out of this?
That's a great question.
Well, heard it here first. Franco's fired, according to MJ.
And Pierre.
Okay, and Pierre. They're both out. So then, whatever. Who cares? We go into Q2, and there's only one red flag in Q2. It's very sensible, just one. And it's Ollie Behrman. He brushes the wall, and you know what he does, MJ? He fucks the toe link. He fucks the toe link. You never want to do that. You never want to do that.
Can't fuck a toe link.
It was something like wrong with his suspension. And so it brings out the red flag because he can't bring it all the way around. So that was our Q2 red flag. And then we go into Q3. And it looks like people are kind of like on their best behavior at the beginning of Q3. Probably also because they're just like on outlaps and stuff like that, whatever. But seems like it's going to be okay until we hear that it started raining a little bit. I don't really feel like it looked like it was raining, but like they were just like, people are putting ponchos on and like they're saying it's raining. It was very like, I was like, it must be just like a little mist. You know what I mean? It wasn't like nobody's putting on like wet tires. Like it was not that kind of thing. But unfortunately, Charles was already on his lap, came to a part of the track where it was allegedly raining and it was slippery. He hit the wall pretty hard. Does quite a bit of damage to that car. And the Ferrari dream is dead. That's all you got, MJ? Just a shaking your head no?
Rats. Shoot. Darn it.
This is my favorite part about recapping F1 to MJ, said she has no opinions except for the most weird ass things, and then she's gonna suddenly go off. Like she needs to fire Pierre, but like no opinion on Ferrari.
I mean, manage your expectations. I don't know what you rats. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry to Haley. I'm sorry about Charles, but like,
no, that's true. So then Oscar also crashes in Q3 pretty hard and brings out a red flag. This is where the red flag record was broken, and this is our last red flag of the session. Now, Oscar Piastri was luckily in Q3, thus meaning he was going to still start from like a point scoring position. You know what I mean? He was going to start ninth. But
Yeah, that'll be fine.
interestingly, he's in the press area and he's seen Lando put in a lap, and Lando brushes the wall and is unable to finish the lap that looked really strong and looked like he would have potentially been on pole. And he kind of like is like, well, lucky me, he's only in P7. Now, I feel like it's kind of strange watching Oscar have potentially one of the luckiest runs for a championship in a way. Like, every time he fucks up, he's just like, ooh, thank God we fucked up together.
Well, but
do you think, yeah.
How much? Okay, I'm going to be mean for a second. I think some people are going to find this mean. How much luck do you need when your opponent is Lando?
Oh my, the Argentinian and the Lando fans? MJ,
No.
please. MJ, please, I value my life. Stop.
I'm not picking a fight with Lando fans, but all the cards were in, and we'll talk about it later. All the cards were in Lando's hand, and he just couldn't fucking get it done. Like, it's like, Oscar doesn't need luck. He has Lando. Put that on a little tramp stamp or a bumper sticker or something. I don't need luck. I have Lando.
That's for sure something we're not clipping and putting on the TikTok. Before this point, Carlos had put in a great lap.
Amazing.
And it was like somebody could beat it probably, like a Lando or a Max. But because of the rain, him and all the people in the Williams garage started doing the rain dance to hope that it got to rain harder so that nobody could go out and finish the session and put in a better lap. Unfortunately, Max Verstappen does exist, and the rain did not come down hard enough to prevent him from coming in with like a buzzer beater and putting it on pole. But we still have Carlos in second and Liam Lawson in third. So imagine you're me and you woke up 3 hours late for qualifying and you accidentally have gotten a notification from the Williams app, something along the lines of Carlos Sainz is in P2. Imagine the carnage I was expecting to have happened for that to happen. Like, I thought, like, surely it was like a multi-car pileup or something that happened.
Kind of.
Weirdly, it kind of was that, but like, it is kind of crazy. Like, it was a genuinely good lap. Like, they kept like reiterating, like they were like, it's like lucky in a way that like Lando and Oscar and stuff took themselves out, but like it was still a really good lap. And like could have still probably been like top 5. Williams so back, baby.
Dude,
Williams is so back.
They're so back. They're not so back. Actually, Carlos has been really good at qualifying every single weekend, is what he said. And I said, Graham Rahal, get out of here.
This was a Jason to an RLL rant.
I was just like,
and I'm not allowing it.
When he said that in their little whatever with Jamie, wasn't it with Jamie Chadwick? Wasn't that one with Jamie Chadwick and the other one was with Hinge? She was like, where did you find the qualifying this weekend? And he's like, no, my qualifying has actually always been good. And I was like, hey, Andrea, hasn't he gotten out in like Q1 multiple times this year?
Like, I'm his fucking PR manager.
I couldn't ask Jamie Chadwick. She was too far away.
Listen.
Listen,
I don't need him to be based in reality in the moment where he just got P2 in qualifying in a Williams. You know what I mean?
I was just shocked that he said that. I was like, of all the things you could have decided not to say, I was like, Mr. Graham, please.
Graham Rahal's like, what does this have to do with me?
What is she saying fuck me for?
And then I do have another thing, which I think is like kind of sad in a way. And I don't really care about him that much. But do you think that Liam's P3 got overshadowed by Carlos's P2? I mean, he was kind of like, nobody gave a fuck. Do you think it's just bad timing for him because of, you know? You guys don't know. Just look up like Liam Lawson's girlfriend. You'll figure out what I'm talking about.
Sure.
It's fine.
Sure.
Specifically on TikTok. This seems like a TikTok discourse, by the way. Look it up on TikTok and you'll find
Look it up on TikTok. I don't know if I care about Liam Lawson. Like, he could have had P1 and I would have been like, yeah, but where's Yuki? And be like,
well, Yuki actually had a good qualifying.
He always has a good qualifying. Like Carlos.
Pitch. I just can't say guys. When you guys are listening to this, just know it's not her birthday today, so I can be disrespectful. And that's annoying. And then just to top it off, you know what? I'll say something that'll really hurt your feelings. Esteban got disqualified, but he was out in Q1 anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Dude, I'm like, why are you guys doing this to him? It feels targeted. They're targeting him.
Okay, I have like a new rule in motorsports. You don't have to do a tech inspection on the cars that already suck. You know what I mean? It's like, why are we pulling the cars from Q1 and doing a tech inspection on them? It's like, I don't give a fuck. Take another look at that fuck-ass McLaren, please. Look under the hood on that thing, okay? We're going to talk about cheaters. Let's find them while they're doing... Look at Carlos's car.
Like,
are they cheating?
I mean, Liam Lawson was in P3, and we're worried about Esteban Ocon? Whoa. Fuck ass IA. That's what they are. Fuck ass.
I just thought, like, kicking him while he's down.
Dude.
No.
They said anyone would have beat a dead horse? I found one. It's got a red livery.
Gene Haas is somewhere like, fuck me, stop!
Well, I know where he is. He's in America because he can't get out of the country.
Boom, roasted. Okay, so let's talk about the race. The race is weirdly super interesting and super uninteresting at the same time. It's like you had to be there for the first lap essentially, and then the rest it was like, yeah, you get it. You know what I mean? It's like whatever. Like the rest you could just spark noted.
The thing about F1 races, and I threaded this, and people agreed with me, so I feel confident saying it, as if I wouldn't have.
I'm back on there.
I know it's really it's nice to have you, but like my favorite part of the F1 races is like the 30 laps in the middle. There's never gonna be anything ever. It's like the 10 at the beginning, the 10 at the end. Even if there's like not a lot of excitement, at least the announcers are talking like there's a lot of excitement. But then you can take a stage 2 nap anywhere in those like 30 laps in between.
I play my iPad games during that time.
That's a good idea. I was watching because it was 6 o'clock in the morning. So I had my phone propped up like right in front of my glasses. So I couldn't really play my iPad game, so I did have to stare with like excruciating attention for those 30 laps, and I don't think I learned anything.
Right. It's funny too, because I kind of feel the same way. It's nothing to do with the length of F1 races, by the way, FIA, if you're listening, or
I think
Stefano
it is.
Domenicali, because I feel the same way about sprint races. I feel the same way about sprint races too, where it's like the first like 3 laps, I'm like, whoa, sprint race, this is so crazy. And then like nothing happens for like 18 laps, and then like I come back for like the last 3. So I think that's just like how F1 is, and you have to be okay with that, unless it rains. When I hear they actually radioed Ollie at one point, it never came to fruition. They're like, it's gonna rain in 20 minutes, and that's when I was like, iPad game away. What are we looking at here? I was excited. Nothing happened. Though. I love rain in F1. Saves the day so many times. I do. I think so. I think it makes it so it's not boring.
I love that for you.
You don't feel the same way?
I feel like every time there's rain, then everyone just bitches online about, why are they racing in rain? And then everyone's bringing up that Senna quote where it's like, all the cars are equal in the rain. And I was like, are they? Do all of the cars magically become equal in the rain? Because that Haas still looks a lot like a Haas. And that McLaren is still 4.5 seconds ahead. So
that's interesting coming from somebody who claims to love Esteban Ocon so much and who got a podium last year in the rain, because he's actually fucking Senna himself, basically, in the rain. Ocon needs the rain to succeed. You remember Kevin Magnussen sending it in the rain at like Silverstone last year or something, like
I
overtaking
think
like
it was
17
Canada or
cars.
something. Yeah,
I was like, woo!
they put the Haas on wet. They were the only one on like wet tires, and I was like, this is actually, I think, the best moment of the season, and we're gonna have to quickly forget it when everyone else changes tires, aren't we?
Yeah. I was like, dude, you're right. Rain does equalize all the cars, and Kevin Magnussen is the best
driver.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would argue with that, though. I don't think I could think of one person who would argue with that.
No. Universally agreed upon. Okay. Well, okay, I just have been prolonging having to talk about this fuck-ass race because the first lap was so crazy, guys. In the way of...
Crazy.
I don't really know what possessed Oscar to behave in this way. I'm going to be honest. He was in ninth, as we've established, and he, I think, was just feeling maybe nervous for the start. I think he has gotten used to the luxuries of being up front and not having to deal with the carnage behind him. And I think he was like confronted with the fact that he was going to be in the middle of the carnage at this start. So he was a little twitchy and he jumped the start significantly. I literally was like, I don't even think all 5 lights have lit up, buddy. I'm going to be honest. Like, I think it was like beep, beep, beep. And then he decided to just go at that point. And I was like, hey, that's never how these starts have worked. And he instinctively slammed on his brake, which then I guess triggered the anti-stall in the car. And then because of that, everybody just went around him at the start. So he was in 20th. And I was like, oof, that's tough. But I mean, he's in a rocket ship. We can make it work from here. You know what I mean? And then not even 3-4 turns into the race, he just slams it into the wall. I don't think I could think of like a more like driver error centric way to fuck up this race. Like he did all of the errors he could possibly do in the first like lap of the race.
No, and that is pretty impressive.
It was like a speed run. Like I literally can't explain it other than like a speed run of how to fuck your life in Baku. It was all of them. I didn't even know some of these. I didn't even know that like I was like anti-stall. I've never seen that at a start of a race because why would anybody do that?
I just don't even have words for the situation. There was part of me where I was like, he's fucking with Lando. He's toying with him. He's going, here's your chance. Here's your chance to even us or to get closer to me in the championship. I hope you don't let Charles Leclerc by and then never be able to pass him again. I sure hope that doesn't happen and you only gain 6 points on me. But that was crazy. And then Fernando Alonso, who is right behind Oscar, just like went off of Oscar's like intuition and he also jumped the start. And when they told him the penalty, I was like, I'm like, he's gonna lose his mind. He's like, yeah, sorry about that. He's like, I just did what Piastri was doing. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Fair to admit. I think it's funny to think that he doesn't watch the lights. He just watches the person in front of him.
Oscar?
That's like a funnier way to think about how Fernando approaches starts. Just like, the lights are too far away. I can't
They're so far.
When you go, I'll go.
Yeah. Oh God, that's so funny.
But then I think it's funny because like, you know, we talk about like calm, cool Piastri. I've said that before. Everybody said that. Everybody that talks about F1 has probably at some point in their life talked about like Oscar's demeanor. He got out of the car. He kind of threw his like steering wheel a little bit. And then like he gets out. He gets put in timeout by the marshals. They gave him a chocolate bar, a water bottle, a banana, and a phone. And then they forced him to watch the race from there because apparently there's no way back to the paddock until the race is over from the specific spot he crashed. Apparently the commentators were talking about like, that's just like a couple spots on track and he just happened to crash at one of them. And I just think it's funny because we've been dealing with that a lot lately with like just Charles and Lando and Zandvoort where they're like, you have to sit here for the rest of the race. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. At least they gave him F1 TV though. Yeah, it was F1 TV on the phone.
Do you think they handed him the phone with it already on, or do you think he chose to watch that? Because part of me is like, I probably would have wanted to watch anything else at that point. Throw on some YouTube. Throw on a deep dive about the bubonic plague or something, like literally anything else.
I think it would be funny to think of the marshals being like, so what do you want to watch? And he's like, probably the race. But I think that confirms for me that one day when Charles was on the hill and he was like with the phone, like doing this, it confirms that I think he was trying to watch the race.
Watching the race.
I thought it was funnier to think he was on FaceTime, but like Oscar would never be on FaceTime. So
FaceTime on somebody else's phone is kind of funny.
Yeah, just being like, they said I can't go yet. They said I have to sit here the rest of the race. No, I know. I told them I'm Charles. No, I'm sorry. I'll be back at the end of the race.
I told them I'm Charles.
But the person who handed him the food did tweet. And he was like, yeah, he just like, I just thought maybe he was hungry. So I gave him the banana and the chocolate that I had. And he didn't eat it. And then people were mad at him for not eating the chocolate. They were like, he should have eaten it to make the marshals like feel better.
What? Literally what?
I wish I could keep a list of like the things I've seen people get mad at race car drivers for, because they're like genuinely, I'm like, what if he just didn't want the chocolate because he just crashed his car and ruined
What if he's lactose intolerant? What if he's allergic to that brand of chocolate? And you're like, well, yeah, but the marshal might have felt bad.
But earlier this weekend, Charles, when he crashed in qualifying, there was like pictures of like the marshals like trying to cheer him up. If you had just crashed, like what would you want the reaction from the marshals to be? I kind of would like a phone and a chocolate bar, like in a lawn chair. Like that for me is like great. But like don't try to comfort me. They were trying to like comfort Charles.
No, I'd want to be in my own solitude.
You would like hide behind a wall somewhere and
like leave me alone. I'd be sitting in that chair, but I would have it turned away from the track so people know that I'm upset. And every time like the camera would like show to me, I would like kind of look at it and then I would look down and in kind of a sad, solemn manner so people knew I was upset.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I would have probably done exactly what Oscar was doing, where he was like facing the track, had the phone, had his feet up. I thought that, like, I was like, genuinely, that's kind of good. Like, that's the prime setup.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, like, that's how I watch a lot of my races when I go to them. So, like, I get it, Oscar.
Actually, no. I think the prime setup is whatever the fuck Charles had going on in Zandvoort, because he was, like, on a hill. He had a great vantage point to watch the race.
That was
honestly,
nice
they
hill.
should sell seats there. Like, I'd pay for it.
Well, but, yeah. They have to keep those for Charles.
When the drivers crash inevitably on the banking, they can't handle it. They can't handle the banking. Okay. So after the restart, Lando is in front of Charles, and he just kind of, I don't really know what his plan was here, but basically they were saying like, the number one thing you don't want to do right now in this restart, because passing is so hard, is like fuck up the restart and allow somebody who is fast on the straights past you, because you will probably not be able to get past them again. And like in that moment, we saw Charles passing Lando, which is what they just said you wouldn't probably want to do. So I don't know.
Why?
I kind of thought that was an interesting strategy.
Why? You don't need luck when you have Lando.
Dude, you're like hating harder than me today. This is
I'm not hating on him. That's just how he performs. Like,
it's
dude, you could have. I put my neck on the line being like, I'm going to be the Lando supporter for this part of the season. You're embarrassing me. You are pulling an Alex Bowman right now, and you're embarrassing me. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Never want to pull an Alex Bowman on her.
Never want to pull an Alex Bowman.
No, I agree. It's like if I try to think the best I can, obviously never really being able to speak to how hard it probably is to be in like a championship fight and the whole world is watching. But it's like, wouldn't you think seeing somebody who's your competition for this championship fucking send it into a wall and be out of the race, done, point blank, period, and know every point you scored is a point that they didn't? You would think that, like, what else is there to motivate you? I don't know. I can't think of anything else that would have, like...
There's almost part of me that's like, he saw Oscar mess up, because his incidents always came after Oscars, where he was like, well, fuck, if Oscar can't do it, there's no way I'm going to be able to do it.
I feel like I thought of it as, like, he lets up. Like he goes, whew, okay, that's good. So I can like kind of fuck around a little bit today.
Well, we have talked about how when he thinks that there's like no competition, or he like when he starts like mid pack, he tends to do better because he doesn't have that pressure on him. But I'm like, how much less pressure do you need? Like, all you have to do is finish better than you started. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even do that in a McLaren, in an orange car.
An orange
Lando,
car.
please, an orange car.
I don't know. I think it is a unfortunate race for any McLaren fan. Like, I'm an Oscar fan. I'll be the first to admit that shit was bad. You know what I mean? It was just like watching him crumble under the pressure. Like, it was the first time where I genuinely was like, Oscar is like a bit shaky right now. Because what the fuck was that? Like, the moment you don't have a good qualifying, you do this. But like, I mean, Lando did the same. It's just like a McLaren. Like, what are they going to do? It's like you gave these people a championship car and they're doing this right now.
Well,
You
if
know,
it's not
like
the
they have
drivers, like if the drivers both would have had good races, like performed well, like I don't know, started the race, got to like lap 2 or 3, the pit stops were still fucking abysmal. It's like, you guys don't want the championship. You want Max to have it. You're handing it over to him.
No, I genuinely was kind of like, Max is the best champion we got on the grid right now. Because it's like he acts like he fucking knows what he's doing.
Right. He's the only serious professional out there.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like, who are you people? You guys brand new here or something? So we also had like a little battle with George and Kimmy. So Kimmy was unable to get around, I believe it was Liam. And George radios in and he was like, I have better tires and I have the pace. I think I could get around Liam if you would just let me pass Kimmy. And then we never see that happen. He does end up getting around Kimmy through like other strategy calls and like other, whatever. But like there was never an order from Mercedes. It's like, yeah, go out and get that podium position. You can pass Kimmy. What are your thoughts on this? Like, do you think they should have?
I think had they not been, I don't even know if they were planning. They ended up hitting him not too long after that. But I mean, like, George was consistently putting in like the fastest lap, and he was stuck behind. Let me look. Oh, your driver. He was stuck behind your other driver. I would be like, Kimmy, honey, pull off to the right.
Yeah,
let George go by. And I think Kimmy would have been fine with it because he knew he wasn't getting Liam.
Yeah, he had tried several times. Maybe it was Yuki. Yeah. It was like one of them.
I'm not sure.
He had tried several times. I think maybe it was Yuki. You're right. It was Yuki.
I think it was, yeah.
He had tried several times to make the pass too. Like they gave Kimmy like sufficient time to try to make the pass. Like he
a long time.
Had gone for it like 3 times and it wasn't happening. I do think it is fair to just be like, yeah, like just like skedaddle. You know what I mean? Like no hard feelings. Don't make him feel like shit about it, but just be like, today was a day that Mercedes wanted to capitalize. You got to move.
Yeah, I think that would have been fair.
Okay. You know what Oscar was front row for? The crash between Alex Albon and Colapinto happened right in front of Oscar, which is, I think, so funny. But Albon kind of dives in on Colapinto. He spins, but Franco, like,
he's fine
in a wall. He keeps it moving. So there was no safety car. It was just like a momentary yellow flag. But it did end up being a penalty for Albon, which is unfortunate because he was like on the move. You know what I mean? Like he did have that same pace that Carlos had. Like the Williams was genuinely fast here. And I kind of was ready for like an Alex Albon masterclass. Do you think he was like just trying too much because he like knew he had the pace and he just wanted to go for it? Do you think it was like just a
No, I think that's a typical Alex thing. Sometimes that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Even if you are racing for, what were they racing for? Like P18 at the time. It was something where I was like, I mean, it could have been for a little more, certainly. I think we probably could have not ran through the Alpine, but I can't fault them for trying.
If it makes you feel any better, like maybe I can we can blame Franco if you want. It's kind of like you know how they say like playing poker against beginners is the hardest because you don't really understand
You
what their
can't,
like their
yeah,
their thing is.
predict.
Like their moves are unpredictable. Maybe that's how he feels racing against Franco.
That could be it.
Do you want to? Yeah, we could blame him if you want.
I would never blame Franco. I would just politely ask him to hand over his keys
His
to the
car,
car.
his
Mhm.
to Jack Doohan, probably.
I mean, if he's the closest person who's qualified for the job, I mean, what am I to say?
Can I say, just like as an aside, I don't think I like appreciated Jack Doohan while he was here enough. Like lately, whenever I see a picture of him, I go, ugh,
I miss
I'm
him.
so sorry. I'm so sorry, Jack. I
It's
don't know if I
crazy.
ever on the podcast said that I thought he should be fired because I don't think I did. I say that, so he's gonna clip me being like, I think he should be replaced with Frigo. I just feel like I definitely didn't appreciate him enough while he was here. I should have done more to fight for him to stay. And I'm sorry for that, guys. I am.
It's crazy to think he was ever an F1 driver. Like it was such a short stint eons ago. I mean, almost a whole NASCAR season ago is how long ago it was. Every day I think him and Fred Vesti, we got to get him on Cadillac or something. We got to bring in a team. We can have I can't think of another brand that would want to come into F1, but as soon as I do, that's where we're going to put them.
Yeah, it's good to keep in mind. You know what I mean? Keep them there, keep them in the system so that when the day comes and MJ and I start our own F1 team, they're there. And we
Laps
can hire
down, F1 team.
and our team will probably be laps down.
Our logo is just the blue flag.
Hell yeah! Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. He was bigger than the whole sky. It's just Jack doing. Make that edit happen, guys, please. Okay.
It probably already exists.
And then Lando finally these are we're getting to the point. I love when I get to read MJ's notes for the first time on air. Lap 30, commentators comment on how Lando favored tracks end up being good for Oscar versus vice versa. Perhaps they're fueled by competition or something. I don't know. Do you think it's maybe that they've only raced together as teammates for 2 years? So like claiming one track as a Lando track and then another one as an Oscar track just kind of seems like a silly exercise in practice.
You don't think that it's like no, I think some tracks are like Lando has done well here versus like Oscar not doing well. But then every time we get to one of those tracks and the commentary, it's always DC. He goes, well, it'd sure be embarrassing for Lando if this track he's very good at previously, he gets significantly outperformed by his teammate Oscar, who is not known to do very well here. And then it happens and he goes, ooh.
No, I think that DC has like a special talent. Like, I like to think that if DC commentated our life, he'd be like, it sure would be embarrassing for two people that just started watching IndyCar and NASCAR to start a podcast on it and speak confidently and loudly into microphones about their opinions and put it on the internet. It's like, that would be embarrassing. And we did do that. But like, he just like speaks it into existence. You know what I mean? Like by him saying it, it's bound to happen.
Oh, you think he's making Lando bad?
Yeah.
You think he's sabotaging Lando?
He's sabotaging in such like a subtle way that it's like, what do you want the guy to do? Not speak anymore? I mean, like that's like asking Nico Rosberg not to take selfies in your garage and then you DNF that day.
No,
you know what I mean?
So
it's like
true. That's like asking Kyle Larson not to unplug your wheel gun during a playoff race. Like
it's so subtle.
What's a girl to do?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't use the word sabotage. It's more of just like divine intervention or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Race manipulation.
Maybe. And some would say that maybe. I don't know. Lap 38, McLaren once again has a bad stop with Lando. Loses him 2 more places instead of gaining him 1.
Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. They would love Alex Bowman.
Do you think that Kyle Larson, through his relationship with McLaren and his hatred towards Zach Brown, has begun fucking with the wheel guns in Baku as well as other F1 stops? How would he manage that? But
here's the thing. He has that helicopter. He has the double helicopter at his whimsy. He does. And so I think he qualified for NASCAR, flew to Baku. Okay, he goes, don't worry, guys. I don't even need to think about Oscars because, let's be honest, he's not making it past lap 1. And then he just unplugs Lando's. It's the same.
They share. I think he's like fine just fucking over Zach Brown.
He's only got one.
He's like,
that's perfect. No, that works even better in the plan.
Yeah.
And then he runs and then he like jumps off of like one of those little castles, jumps into the helicopter, and then they fly back to
wherever the
New Hampshire.
You know, New Hampshire is actually a pretty convenient place if you were gonna take a transatlantic flight too.
I don't know, guys. I just think we are not pointing the fingers at the right people. The finger should almost always be pointed at Kyle Larson, and I think we're really missing the opportunity to just bring him down a peg.
If you McLaren folks want somebody to blame for the sabotage, don't make it Mark Webber. Don't make it Andrea Stella. Don't make it Zach Brown. Always make it Kyle
realistic.
Larson.
It's Kyle Larson.
If this is what it takes to get you guys into NASCAR, you don't have to do. This is how we like randomly get a bunch of F1 people watching NASCAR. They're like, "What? Who the fuck is this Kyle Larson guy?"
Fuck that Kyle. This is the best. I love it when people like an F1 fan starts watching. Like Kana does it all the time. He's an F1 fan who started watching NASCAR, and he goes, "Sorry, Kyle Larson is supposed to be the best driver in the world," and like he's fucking spitting himself every once in a while and hitting walls and tangling with Riley Herbst. It's like, yeah, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. Kyle fucking Larson.
It's a great bit, and I will never trash a great bit. Every time you see Kyle Larson spin, you have to make fun of him.
Yeah, I mean, every time you see
commenting about Max
Kyle
Verstappen
Larson
and shit. Yeah, you have to. It's the rules in motorsports. We don't make them; we just follow them. Lap 41, Lando finally gets look at Leclerc and gets it done. Did you type that? That seems like a you sort of phrasing. That's
he gets a look at Leclerc and then he gets it done.
I like it. Gets it done for P7, which is actually where he started.
And here's something noticeable. There are actually only 51 laps in the race. And so Lando started in position 7, pole 7, if you're a fan of the Laps Down podcast. And what's interesting is he was in P8 this entire time behind Leclerc, who was actually in P7, as I said just a moment ago. Yeah. Pole 7, which was where Lando had started, due to an unfortunate error in Lando's behavior. And so now on lap 41 of this 51-lap race in Formula One cars in 2025, we're supposed to see him do something.
One pass. That's what you get, guys. When you guys tune in at 6 a.m., just know you're getting one pass.
One pass.
And then we have Liam, Yuki, and Lando battling for the last 20 laps. They're lined up all within DRS range of each other for places 5 through 7. And this is after the pit stops. So, like, we've all done what we need to do for strategy. Like, we're rocking with fighting for position here. And
what happens? No, what?
Nothing, bro. Not shit. It was interesting to watch them all be in a DRS train, though. Did you guys have fun with that?
It's really fun when cars look like they're in midday rush hour traffic. Sure.
We gotta make these cars better, guys. In 2026, I genuinely don't care what happens as far as like whether my faves get good cars or not. I don't care. They have to be able to pass each other. Please. That's my only rule. They have to be able to go next to each other at some point on the racetrack.
Yeah.
And maybe one go in front of the other. If we hope and pray. Either that or you have to make the tires degrade so often that we get like 7 pit stops. That's my 2 requirements.
Oh, I was going to ask you about this. They kept making the comment that there are no required pit stops. However, you do have to change the tires. And I understand maybe they're talking about like if there's a flag, but why have they been like emphasizing that specific fact so much? Was there controversy, or are we just like finding something to talk about? Because like obviously you have to change the tires.
I think it's because these tires were so they were not degrading to the point where you could have done the entire race on a set of hard tires without stopping once if you wanted to. Mm. And George Russell, I think, basically said as much on the radio. And it was like, yeah, no, George could do this entire race on the hard tires. It's like he just has to make a stop.
Interesting.
Which is a problem.
That's really exciting. That's really...
Yeah.
We gotta call Goodyear back. Let's let Goodyear make the tires for F1. Again.
Yeah.
Again?
I don't know.
Because isn't that what the whole IMS thing was?
Sure. I don't know tire history. I only know today's tires. And all I know is that today, these tires sucked. Got them.
They weren't very good.
Okay. And then overall, we had a good performance from Liam, who finished 5th. It was his best performance overall in F1. He lost out on a podium. I don't really think that they had the pace for him to maintain that pole 3 that he had qualified in. So I think it's a successful week for Liam. Probably had a good time because it's not looking like he is in a good spot for maintaining a seat on the F1 grid next year. Did you have any tire facts that you wanted to share? Is that what you were Googling?
I was just confirming that Goodyear did make the tires, and that was what I don't know, I felt a little shaky. I was a little nervous. I didn't want people to come to the comments and go, well, actually, MJ.
Well, that's surely what the people are going to come to the comments about, not any of the other comments that we've made on this podcast.
It's my birthday. You're literally not allowed to be mean to me until Wednesday.
No, that's so true.
And by that time...
That's actually true. Raptured. George. By that time, if you're still typing on YouTube, you were not raptured. So that sucks for you, buddy. George finished 2nd despite starting in 10th. He had a great strategy.
The bubonic plague, too.
He had the bubonic plague that he overcame to remain on the track, which is so powerful of him. And he did it all without hurting the feelings of his biological child, Kimmy. It was a great day overall for George. I think he was very happy. Max Verstappen, you never saw him on the screen because he was not dealing with anybody's bullshit. He just was running his own race beautifully as always. So congratulations, Max. And championship run back on. Yeah, Max has decided he's back. He's like, actually, I've seen the competition and it turns out they are unable to handle the rocket ships that they've been given. And he is loving his car lately. After he qualified pole 1, the actual pole position, he got out and gave his car an attaboy hit. Did you see that? He went,
no.
He went attaboy on his car. And
when Max is in his element, it feels like F1.
Yes. Dude. I always said that. I'm gonna be honest, it feels great sometimes watching Max just like put on a performance like that and then get out of the car and give it an attaboy tap. Like, that's beautiful, and that's F1. No, he's apparently loving his car. The new team principal said that he just was like kind of changing the way they were developing the car, and he was like, we're listening less to simulation tools and more to just purely the feedback of the drivers. And I was like, the fuck have we been doing this whole time? I don't know, but it's good to know Red Bull's so back, baby, and Yuki on the podium next. Yoinks.
I love it when Yuki does well. That also feels like F1 to me.
Yeah, me too. And then Carlos gets P3. He says on the radio, it is the sweetest podium of his career.
Okay. That's like when you go to a comedian and they're like, you guys have been my best audience yet. And I'm like, you're just saying that because I'm here.
I don't know. Do you think that he's like I don't know. I feel like he's like really feeling like he's doing something at Williams. Now, I will say, I think it's unfair to not pretend like the success this year has not come majority from Alex Albon. As a Carlos fan, I think we have to pause, say thank you to those who came before us. Respect your elders. And by that, I mean Alex Albon, who's been suffering at this team far longer than we have. So pay your respects and then say, congratulations, Carlos. I'm so glad Williams has a podium. And I think Alex Albon would be probably the first to admit that things did not go this well for him this weekend. Some of it by his own fault. But I think that it's a good sign for things to come. And I hope that Alex is the next one to receive this luck. What do you think?
Absolutely. I don't know. I thought he still, what a fucking freak. He still had a really good race starting in P19 because they punished Esteban Ocon. But he finished in P11, and then obviously he had that penalty, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think the potential is there. And I was giddy to see him right behind Carlos's cousin, cheering for him at the podium. I was like, I think Alex is like the first to be like, no, I'm excited for Carlos. Like, I wish it was me, but like, yeah, I'm excited for Carlos. He wasn't like boycotting, celebrating for Carlos like all of the weird Williams fans are on TikTok, where they're like, it's strange. A win for Williams, but I'm not going to cheer for Carlos because he got it when Alex deserved it. And I was like, Alex deserved it before or after he hit the wall.
I think it's like one of the weirdest things in the F1 fandom when people hate on a driver on behalf of their driver, who in that moment is excited and happy and cheering for the person that they're hating on. You know what I mean? Like I'm like
you're creating the issue is what you're doing. You're creating and then reacting to an issue that does not exist. And that's just too much time for me. I was clocked in from 9 to 5 today, but I see what other people were doing.
I really hope, though, someday somebody does that for me, like hates on my coworkers for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like I just don't even have the time or energy. And it would be nice to know there was somebody out there being like, fuck you on behalf of Andrea. I thought that would be nice in a way.
That's fair. That is fair.
Kind of beautiful.
Okay, I've changed my tune. Fuck Carlos.
Yeah. This podcast is on a roll. Norris only gained 6 points on Piastri, which is actually less than what he would have gained had it been. Go ahead.
In the Champy.
Oh, down by 25. Okay, I don't remember the exact math, but basically him finishing P7.
Yeah, actually, Oscar, exactly where he started.
Right. So him finishing P7 and Oscar DNFing. He actually gained less points on Oscar than if it would have been a 1-2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the points are so fucking weird in F1.
Yeah.
It makes just about as much sense for F1.
I think he like literally, it's just like, it couldn't have gone better in a way for Piastri.
I mean, you don't need luck when you got Lando.
And then speaking of you don't need luck when you got Lando, change it to you don't need luck when you got McLaren, because Max Verstappen is only 69 points behind Piastri.
Nice.
Got him. And he's kind of like, he was asked like, is there still hope in the championship fight for you? And he was like, I don't operate on hope. And I was like, ooh. That's really scary. If I was McLaren, I do not like the sound of that.
Guys, get out of there.
Guys, you gotta run. So do you want to go to Vegas to see Max win the championship again this year? Why not? I think he could have it locked down by then at this point.
I think, oh man, Max is gonna be on the Sphere again. I thought it was gonna be Oscar, was excited about that, but Max belongs on the Sphere.
Dude, Max owns the fucking Sphere.
Oh, dude.
That's his fucking Sphere, bro. Actually, Las Vegas, when I think about it, it was so like prime Sphere energy because we had Max win the championship, but then George win the race. So they both got like ample Sphere time. And those are the two drivers that I want to see on the Sphere personally. Like, I'm all
I agree.
That. Yeah.
And Ollie and Esteban. But I don't think they're going to win the championship.
No, but they get like features sometimes on the Sphere. Just
they do the thing where they like tap it and then it just shatters. Yeah.
Can I add something to our motorsports bucket list? I have like just a list of like things that like I just think would be fun, and I think this is one that you would love to participate in. I want to be invited someday to the session where they film all of the little things that they put on the sphere. Because they like have them like tap on the thing. They have them like model walk forward through like smoke. Do you remember? And then there's like, they all have like kind of like where they cheer themselves as they drive by.
As they drive by, and you can like see them like making eye contact with their car.
I would really love to just be in the studio the day that they film those, and I think that you and I would have great fun.
It would be so fun. I think they filmed them pretty early in the season, so I wonder if there's a Jack doing somewhere cooking that we could unleash him into the sphere.
I don't know. That's a good point, because I remember last year they had a Franco, and I remember being like,
they did have a Franco.
But there's a chance that they might film those. Like,
dude, in a couple years, we're going to have Colton Herta on the sphere. Isn't that crazy?
If there's ever been anything good in this world, they will allow us to have a Colton Herta sphere as a treat. As a treat! Let us have a Colton Herta sphere. Please, 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 please. Do you think they're going to make him cut his hair? I had like a fear the other day that they would make Colton Herta cut his hair to be an F1.
Did they make?
Why?
Did they make Valtteri get rid of the mullet?
It's like kind of.
They kind of did,
puny.
Didn't they?
Yeah. Although, like, I also like. I think maybe this fear comes from like I just have like this unconscious thing where it's like when you join F1 for some reason pure gasoline makes you get a buzz cut, but that was just the one time.
That was for something very specific.
So maybe it's just like an irrational fear that I have.
Well, let me think. It depends on who his like co-driver is. Because if they're balding and decide to go to Turkey, he'll probably have to. Like if it's like
Checo. If it's Checo, we're fucked. I think that Checo would, if he felt like insecure about his hair, he would make Colton.
Checo's hair is fine.
For now. I mean, a lot can change.
That's how many years he got. You know? It's like he's getting to that age.
I think Valtteri would never feel insecure about his hair. Valtteri, if he starts balding, it's his own fucking fault, because why are you bleaching your hair like that at like your grown ass age? Like that shit cannot come back if it keeps falling out. You do know that. Like you're at the age where it might not come back. You can't be doing that.
It'll come back. It'll always come back for Valtteri.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, be aware. All right, do we want to talk about IndyCar?
You don't want to talk about if Kimi sucks?
I just am like, I don't think he sucks. I just think he's like behaving as a child would in F1.
I think he's doing exactly what all of us with a rational mind predicted him to do. And now Mr. Toto is like, well, we don't know who our drivers are going to be next year. It's like, bitch, the child you adopted better be one of your drivers next year.
Yeah.
If it's not Fred Vesti.
I wouldn't wish that on Fred Vesti. Clearly Toto doesn't know how to cherish him.
No, that's true. Oh my God. Cadillac knows how to cherish them.
Yeah. I think that for me, it's like he doesn't have either of his drivers under contract right now. And I'm just like, do you know how to like manage the team? That you've been managing it for a while. I thought you had a good handle on it, but it seems like lately things are kind of going awry for you. Like you were going on a honeymoon with Max Verstappen for some reason.
Oh,
I just am like getting kind of confused. Yeah, like I'm just like, what's going on there? You know? That's my thoughts.
I don't know. I hope they get it together soon.
It's important to cherish Kimi Antonelli. If you won't, someone else will. Toto. Think about it. All right, IndyCar. I'm not going to bully the child anymore. He gets enough at home. IndyCar. We got a 2026 schedule. Can you believe?
Whoa. I didn't even think they were coming back next year. I was under the presumption that they were gone.
Forever. Yeah.
Forever. They were raptured.
But they did announce it. They they were fucking raptured, dude. IndyCar got raptured, and all that was left was F1 and NASCAR because they didn't get to go. That's why we don't have it anymore, kids. It's important that you know.
Raptured. The year IndyCar got raptured.
Yeah. Well, they gave us a 2026 schedule. Surprise. And there's some pros and there's some cons that I thought we could chat about. So one of the most notable things is that they did kind of front load the schedule, which I think is good. I think you and I did talk a lot last year as like fans, how annoyed we were with like, ooh, we were just getting into IndyCar and then you fucking disappeared again. What was that about? They put an oval at the beginning of the season before the 500. And that oval is Phoenix. And Phoenix is a doubleheader with the NASCAR weekend, specifically on the Saturday, which will be with the Xfinity race. You were hesitant about this for a while. I will say this is one thing I never fully was like on board with your hesitancy. So I would love for you to like make your case, because I want to be honest and hear from you.
Yeah. Well, as soon as IndyCar or NASCAR announces that they're doing a double header weekend, I'm sure my tune will change. There has been zero acknowledgement from either of the series or Fox, which is most likely the reason they were brought together. I think what we're going to see is two races that aren't advertised. Maybe NASCAR will advertise their race. And I think it's going to be a shit show. That being said, I mean, I'm clocking in. I will be watching. But I'm like, this is just, in my opinion, not the best use of our time, especially if we're not actually going to advertise anything. And if we're going to drop the schedule, IndyCar is going to disappear for months. And then are you going to start advertising it like the week before? Like when you're supposed to be advertising St. Pete? Like, is that when we're going to say that there's a doubleheader with NASCAR? Or what's the purpose of having the doubleheader if we're not feeding off of each other? It seems silly.
Yeah.
But I think this is mostly so NASCAR can be like, would a monopoly do this?
Yeah, this is pretty unmonopolistic.
Have you ever seen a monopoly host an IndyCar race? I mean, we're not going to talk about it, but they'll be there.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I gotta admit, they got me there. I mean, I've never seen a monopoly host an IndyCar race.
Never.
No, I do agree with you that it is strange that they weren't immediately like, woo, doubleheader weekend in Phoenix, see you there. Here's where you, like, tickets are on sale right now. Like, tickets are on sale right now.
Some people found out that this was a doubleheader from my TikTok, where I was bitching about the fact that no one knows this is a doubleheader. Someone literally in the comments was like, this is how I'm finding out about it. Because if you don't follow NASCAR, you don't know what the NASCAR schedule is.
Yes, you just see Phoenix. Could you actually, please? I would love for somebody to show up and have no idea NASCAR is happening. That would be so funny to me. I want that to happen, and I need them to film it.
I have a feeling it's going to be a very popular like reversal where people are going to go and be like, hell yeah, we're going to watch Xfinity. And they're going to be like, oh, and another support series is happening earlier today. But we skipped that one. We were only coming to see Jesse Love.
I don't know if this has already been announced yet. Do you think it's going to be Xfinity during the day and IndyCar at night, or IndyCar during the day, Xfinity at night?
I feel like
that juicy night race.
Well, I mean, let me think. Which of the monopolies at play owns the track? So part of me does think NASCAR is going to be a little bit favored, but wouldn't that be cool if IndyCar got the night race? That'd be cool.
I want IndyCar to be the night race, personally.
I do too. Especially, what if they have the because last year for Phoenix, the early race for this year for Phoenix, NASCAR had the alternate tires.
Yeah.
Correct?
And it was good. It was a good race.
I had a lot of fun. I love an alternate tires situation in NASCAR. I don't know. I'd like it to be IndyCar, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Xfinity.
Do you think IndyCar is going to get to do that like dog leg thing? Isn't that Phoenix?
Oh, where they like cut the corner? Well, yeah, that's the race in line.
That's the racing line.
That's
Yeah,
the
let's
racing
do
line. I
it.
also,
Get on that dog leg.
how are they going to do?
You're thinking about it too much.
Yeah, now I'm like, okay, so because NASCAR doesn't practice. That's the whole thing. They're like, we're men, we don't practice. But IndyCar does practice.
They're
So
definitely going to be like, we're getting a full 3 practice sessions in.
you get 3 practices and a qualifying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We got to do the Highline practice in the warm up in the morning. James, it's really important to James Hinchcliffe and Will Buxton.
We have a little show.
Do their little thing. Yeah, they got a couch. It's a whole thing. So you guys are gonna have to let us do that. I'm sorry. No,
you know what sucks?
Actually, we know IndyCar is definitely going to get the night race because what they're going to do is they're going to let them do the Highline practice in the morning with the warm up show, and then they're going to do Xfinity, and then it's going to go to IndyCar at sundown.
Is there going to be any issue though if Xfinity runs like tire wise, like track? Someone in the comments let us know. I know. Well, so I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the greater being, the people in our comments who will come into our comments and let us know. Is there going to be an issue if we run our sweet buttery Goodyears, our sweet buttery juicy Goodyears, and then we're like,
our delicious alternate tire.
and then we just literally can't talk about tires without making it weird. But then you got the koozie. She's got a laps down koozie. That's sick. Not available anywhere, but
would you guys like this, by the way? I just feel like it's kind of like we would want to do merch again someday, but like we don't really know. Like, do people want hats? Do they want something else?
Do you want anything? We can make bumper stickers that says why need luck when you have Lando.
Or somebody recommended a bumper sticker in our comments on TikTok that just says, Brock, stop.
Yeah, I think Mare did. We do one that says like,
stop.
Hope I don't fuck a tow link, or like if I fuck a tow link on I-235, we're both going down. I don't know, something fun. But anyways, does anyone in the comments know if there's going to be an issue if we run the Goodyears and then we try to get them out there on the Firestones in the wee hours of the night? Let me know in the comments below.
I'm gonna make the schedule because we also have to do Cup qualifying. So on Saturday, we're going to have to do the Highline practice in the morning. We got to hope that there's not one of those like little marine fog situations like Laguna Seca, or else the schedule goes to fuck. And then we're going to do Cup qualifying, and then we're going to do Xfinity, and then we're going to sweep the track. We're going to get all those juicy
when does Xfinity qualify?
Juicy bit. The day before. I don't care. And then I don't know.
Draw names out of a hat.
He's not even there anymore, but just give it to Connor Zilic. And then and then we're going to get all those juicy bits of Goodyear off the track and then put our nose on the grindstone with our Firestones, and then race our Indy cars just as the sun's going down, the desert sun in the middle of Phoenix. And we're going to get this oval racing going. What are you confused about now?
Does Phoenix have lights?
Surely. I don't know.
Oh, I just typed in, does Phoenix have lights? And yes, the city of Phoenix does have lights. Confirmed.
Thank God. I was worried.
Does Phoenix Raceway there? You guys got lights. You guys got stars in the desert. Oh, it does have lights. Surely it does. All right, no, that sounds good to me. If that's what we're rocking with, I'm rocking with it.
Okay. Well, that's the schedule, guys, based on me. Back to the IndyCar schedule. No Mexico City. We talked about that last episode. And Nashville, no longer the finale. Laguna Seca instead. I think we also talked about that last episode.
Yeah, I thought it was Worldwide Technology Raceway. I still think Worldwide Technology Raceway would be a better finale than WeatherTech Raceway.
That's what your confusion was. Yeah.
Right.
You saw W and you just thought like, this is Worldwide Technology Raceway.
I know this one. It's right across the street from me. And that's on me, but I still stand by everything I said. I do think that would be a good finale. I think Gateway makes a really good racing product. You guys know this. I think it's funny.
The pyrotechnics would be cool for the finale.
Dude, I'm at sick.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Laguna Seca doesn't have pyrotechnics. They have fog.
Mm-hmm.
But
Fuck that marine fog. Whatever that is, put a stop to it.
Get it out of here. I was surprised about Laguna Seca just because what I've learned about Laguna Seca was it used to be the finale, and all the drivers were kind of like, this is not a fun finale. It's kind of lackluster. One of them called it sleepy, which I was like, woof, you know? But I mean, I guess I'm interested to see what happens. I'm more excited for the weekend right before Laguna Seca, which is the Milwaukee Mile doubleheader. We shall be there. We shall be in
will be in attendance.
Milwaukee.
We will be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, we will be there.
Hey, guys, don't fret. We're going to be there.
We're going to be there. Absolutely.
We're going to be there. No, I agree. I also think I was pretty excited when I found out. I'm sad for Nashville. I'm interested though, because apparently Nashville is going to be directly after the World Cup finals on the same channel. So it's going to go from World Cup finals directly into Nashville. And I'm like, okay, guys, listen up. We cannot be having any pre-show. It needs to be like soccer game is finished and we're fucking green flag. Like, we got to get these people like right away and be like, hello, welcome. This is IndyCar racing. Vroom. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be
vroom.
We got like 5 minutes to convince
Put that Motley crew on. Okay. Show them Jack Harvey running down the pit lane, talking to some people.
Yeah.
Get the helmets on. Get him in the car.
We need Christian Rasmussen crimes against the rest of the fucking field immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. We need
Who do you think?
We need to cut Alex Palou's tires so he can't do any domination shit. We need to... Guys, the sport relies on it. I mean, fucking get your heads together, boys. We gotta put on a show. Please.
Who do you think, best case scenario, bunch of people never watched IndyCar before, big World Cup fans, tune into the Nashville race. Who do you think winning is their best bet, like keeping them engaged in the sport for the rest of the season?
Willpower.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like what you're cooking there. I like what you're cooking. In the Gainbridge.
In his Colton Herta costume.
I like that. No, I think you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I stand by it. Speaking of willpower, David Malukas was announced for Team Penske in the number 12 car. I don't think we were confused or surprised by that in any way. It was like the worst kept secret in the world. My thing was, it was a very weird announcement. And I wonder if anybody else in the comments is thinking along the same lines me and MJ were. We both thought it was kind of interesting how sponsor heavy this driver announcement came. It felt so like affirmative of he will be in that Verizon Snap-on car. And it was like, and most driver announcements aren't so like reliant on who the sponsor of the car will be. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it was very sponsor heavy. I don't know. I was kind of curious about the fact that they released a teaser for it, a sponsor heavy teaser.
Like they literally pull a Verizon phone out of like a Snap-on toolbox.
I was like, that's kind of weird, but I wonder if they were trying to like get ahead of or like prepare for some of the backlash they might get because they're like, we want to impress the sponsors. I don't know. The whole reveal was kind of weird, but it was announced. That's it.
It was weird because I do think like in some of the posts that I saw after the announcement from David Malukas and Team Penske, is it weird that I almost like already started to like look at him as like he just seemed like more mature
Penske.
almost? Yeah, like I was like this is so strange. Like it's like almost immediately like he like transformed. Like I no longer like he didn't seem as like dorky young kiddish. It was like that kid's gonna be in a fucking Penske car.
It might have had something to do with like how gelled his hair was.
You think it was the hair? Okay,
there was something.
Like, what am I looking at here?
It was kind of giving like kid going to like picture day for school. There's like one day when his hair is like really, really gelled in kindergarten. But I do think his his vibe is inevitably probably going to switch just because Penske perfect doesn't really fuck around with like Instagram memes.
Hmm.
But I hope he doesn't lose his sparkle.
David, keep dazzling. Keep being dazzling, David.
Dazzle Malukas, that's what they call him.
I would probably have gone with Dazzle David for alliteration purposes.
What is he, a magician?
Yes, probably. He seems like a kid who would have been into magic.
He does seem like someone at his grown age of like 23, probably still into magic.
David Malukas, if you've ever been into magic, you need to speak up and say something now, because that would make me like you so much more. You have to speak up and speak out.
He shows up to the first Team Penske meeting, and he can tell it's tense, and he knows that willpower had always been the glue in the situation. And so when he's sitting at the meeting, you know, right between Mr. Joseph Newgarden and Scotty Mack, he just pulls out a deck of cards and goes, "You want to see a trick?" And Joseph, not amused, but Scotty, he's down.
Oh, Scotty's down. Joseph seems like somebody who would have been in magic as well. I
think Joseph is no like silly business when it comes to being in these Team Penske meetings. If you had caught him at like outside of a donut shop or something, yeah, like when he's running around the track after he gets disqualified from the Indy 500 or something, then maybe he'd be down for some magic. But I don't think in this situation that I've put them in, he would be.
Did you say donut shop because of the situation I had with Joseph?
Yeah, it came to mind. But do you think if you had pulled out a deck of cards?
Yeah, he would have probably been down. I will say, though, it does haunt me sometimes when I go to sleep that I said, "Good luck today." Not even an hour and a half before he found out his car was fucked.
Sure. How could you have known? How is a girl to know?
I really did. I'm sorry, Joseph. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Do you think all this is my fault? I didn't even get to buy a donut either because the donut shop was cash only and I didn't have cash.
What? Cash only? You're telling me Joseph Newgarden carries cash?
Rob him. No, I'm sorry. God damn it. Sorry. I'm not. Don't rob Joseph Newgarden, okay?
Do that.
No, I was at a gas station buying a Red Bull, and then I saw him coming out of the donut shop, like right next to the gas station. And then after he left, I was like, oh, like I noticed there was a lot of people going in the donut shop. I was like, is this like an Indianapolis thing that I don't know about because I don't like live here? You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I'll try it. And he said cash only on the door. And so I just...
Did you even go in?
No, I was like, it's not for me. I don't carry cash.
Next year.
In and be like, do you guys take Venmo?
Yeah, what if can we please Apple Pay, please? Frick.
Yeah. Frick. And then who's taking the seat at AJ Foyt? David Malukas, believe it or not. Believe it or not, we were talking about David Malukas. You think it's Rinus VeeKay for sure?
I mean, who else would it be unless Teo's coming back?
Teo Pusher? What is he doing? No,
he's a web driver. He's a web driver now.
He's too busy.
Too busy.
Too busy. Do you think it might be Brock Feedy? Thoughts?
Okay, wait. Whoa. I hadn't even considered this possibility.
I know what to say to get her wound up, guys. I know what to say to get her wound up. What can I say? Whenever I feel the energy dipping from MJ, I have to say something crazy like that.
No, wait. Yeah, because he'd be in the Penske pipeline, so in like 2-3 years down the road, it would be him and Scotty Mack. And then on the other side, we got
Scotty Mack when Scotty Mack went to NASCAR.
Goes to NASCAR. I was gonna say on the other side, we'd have SVG and Will Brown, so it'd kind of be like father sons from like across the series.
And in this fan fiction, canonically, Brock Feedy is Scotty Mack's son, and then Will Brown is SVG's son, correct?
Yeah, because they kind of give the opposite, don't you think? It's like the parent swap where it's like, well, my son's English. Yeah. I don't really remember the plot of The Parent Trap, but I know somehow one of them became... You've never seen The Parent Trap?
No.
I think you would like it. You seem like... I know you didn't have siblings, but you would be someone who would be like, we should swap places. Yeah, let's Parent Trap them. Okay. That's what The Parent Trap is they swap places. The
concepts of siblings is just generally confusing to me, so it's good for me sometimes to see what it is like represented in film.
Yeah, in media. It's just like that.
Okay, that's good to know. Good to know you guys are out here parent trapping. I wasn't able to. The fucking worst part about being an only child, don't get to parent trap your parents.
Shoot.
Yeah, no, so that's fun. We figured out the AJ Foyt situation, guys. This is why you guys tune into Laps Down. We have got to get to NASCAR. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
We're not talking about the whole race because the whole race, like, I just, like, genuinely, guys, it's like, what do you want? You know what I mean? It's like, you watched it. It was fine, I guess. But we're going to be talking about the sweet, sweet storylines, guys. Those sweet, sweet playoff storylines. They're good. And that's the good thing about NASCAR playoffs is they provide those storylines. We had Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs. Okay, picture this. Denny is behind Ty Gibbs, and he is rattling off on the radio about how annoying Ty Gibbs is for kind of just sitting right on like the perfect racing line, going much slower than Denny behind him. And then behind Denny, you have Christopher Bell. And Denny is rattling off about how pissed he is. And then he just kind of dumps Ty Gibbs a little bit. He says it was on accident. He said he meant to move him, but did not mean to spin him.
He did move him.
He did move him.
Around.
In a spinning manner. Unfortunately, too, which I kind of realized upon watching the replay, is that he almost spinned Ty Gibbs into Christopher Bell.
Yes.
Which I was like, that could have been so bad for you, Denny. Like, imagine how much more pissed Joe Gibbs would have been if he would have simultaneously taken out both of them. That would have been crazy. So it was definitely a rash decision. I initially was like, okay, I understand why Denny is like pissed. He was on the radio being like, do you guys want to win a championship with one of these cars? Yes or no? Because why the fuck is the non-championship contending car sitting in front of us going slower? And I personally was like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I giggled a little bit. I don't know. I'm like on the Denny bandwagon. I was like, yeah, get him. But then I have a Ty Gibbs lover in my life who was like, let's be realistic here. They were fighting for basically nothing. And it is like a bit unfair. If NASCAR operated in the way where all the playoff drivers just had non-playoff drivers move out of their way, then like what would be the point of them being on the track anyways? They're allowed to compete for their own race and they're allowed to try to win their own race. And like that's something Denny is just going to have to contend with. What did you think?
I think my thoughts, the way that I am feeling.
Jesus Christ. What now?
You can't be mean to me.
Okay, it's not your birthday yet.
I'm in a different time zone.
It's the birthday adjacent in Central Time. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, everybody knows that. I think my biggest comes to the team, where I was like, if I gave a fuck about my driver, and understandably Ty Gibbs is coming off of a rough weekend. Okay. Mm-hmm. He dicked around and he found out, unfortunately. Thought he was gonna win, dicked around. You can't
hate it when that happens.
You can't do that.
You can't dick around.
You can't dick okay.
Dude, we gotta let a joke die sometimes. You know what I mean? And it really sucks to see it.
Yeah, but it's just like my brain's immediately like, whoa, this is where we should take it. The fact that Denny had been on the radio for so long at this point, being like, this fucking kid, get him the fuck out of the way, like I'm racing for a championship, and the fact that the team didn't go, hey Ty, I gotta tell you something. Actually, there's a very angry, very rich man behind you. His car is much faster. You're simply gonna have to stop racing him like that. Just, give him position. I'm sure he'll end up significantly higher than he did at the time he was racing you at the end of the race. Like, just let him by. It shocked me that there wasn't some kind of conversation that happened to Ty Gibbs to tell him to move. I think he was within his right to race. And if Denny couldn't get around him, it's like, well, that's just racing. But the fact that there wasn't like something already put in place being like, hey, Ty, we know you want to get a win. We have three drivers. Three? Two. Three.
3. Chase Briscoe.
3, because fucking Chase Briscoe. We have 3 drivers who are racing for a championship. Like, it's nothing against you. Push comes to shove, they'll do it for you in the future. The fact that that wasn't already like a prerequisite coming into the race. Like, I'm not mad at Ty for racing Denny. I'm not mad at Denny for turning Ty, because like I would have been fucking pissed too.
He also, I think, would have turned anybody that was in front of him.
100%. If
100%.
Christopher Bell was doing the same thing, wasn't a playoff driver, he would have done like the exact same thing. So like, I don't fault either of the drivers. I think this is a Joe Gibbs Racing too afraid to tell Ty no situation, or just too afraid to make a decision, period.
That's, I think, what Denny kind of alluded to on the radio, and then kind of, I think I saw a clip from Door Bumper Clear where the guy who's like Bubba's spotter kind of said something similar, where it's like, there's not probably any conversations happening with Ty from his spotter, from his crew chief, or from the leadership at JGR, because nobody really knows how to approach the relationship with him without it inevitably being kind of weird. Because he wants a win. He probably has a car sometimes that could be a race winner. He feels a lot of pressure to achieve that win. And he's like fighting his own demons right now on that track. And then it's like, but some like people are too afraid to be like, what you're fighting for right now is unfortunately not a championship. So it has to come second.
And the consequences are so severe. Like, not telling him that you got to get out of the way. He could have still had a perfectly fine finish in one of those cars, but he didn't finish. His race was finished for him, but between that and then another incident, whatever. That's not the point, guys. Stop.
I think that honestly, they didn't even have to come on the radio and tell him much other than, honestly, what I would have done is I would have just been like, hey, you can do whatever you want out there. Just so you know, Denny is pissed. That's it.
Yeah.
If he would have at least like known, he could have continued to continue racing Denny like an asshole, but at least he would have like known. Like,
yeah, had that happened,
he's gonna dump me.
Yeah, had that happened and he continued to race him like that, I would have been like, yeah, fair play, absolutely fair play. But it's like there's no conversations having, and you're fucking over Ty for it, and Ty clearly doesn't have the emotional stability to be able to work through these. Actually, you know what? I don't think any of your fucking drivers do. I don't think any of your Joe Gibbs drivers had the emotional maturity to be able to think through their emotions when they're on the racetrack, and to their detriment some of the time. It baffles me that there was no conversation had.
I wondered, I will say there was a part of me, I thought they were going to just bench Ty Gibbs for the day, because I thought he was going to go back out there and try to dump Denny. He came on pit lane, he got some stuff fixed, and then he went back out there, and I could not believe my eyes that they let him back out there. I don't know what they would have done, but I was like, you guys can't let him back out there, because he like said over the radio, he was like, game on. I was like, he's going to go out there and wreck Denny. I was like, this is going to get so bad.
And this is where I'm kind of like, Denny, emotional regulation. It's like, he has no reason to help you win this championship. Unfortunately, like, his seat essentially guaranteed by his bloodline. Like, he was chosen by the blood of the whoever.
The blood of Joe Gibbs.
The blood of Joe. Yeah. But it's like, now you've made an enemy of your own teammate. He like knows your equipment pretty well. Like, if he can keep his shit together, he's probably gonna show up more times than not around you during a race. It's like, you didn't need this on your back. And unless there's a really good, like, mature, calm conversation happening in the hauler today, you guys have, I mean, everyone's fucked in this situation. Besides fucking Chase Briscoe. He's fine. He was nowhere to be seen. He was, you know where he was? The front of the race. And that is the worst place, in my opinion, for him to be. And you know where Denny finished after all of this? After murdering Ty Gibbs for 11th? He finished 12th. Pathetic. You're embarrassing me. You, Lando, and Alex Bowman, you're embarrassing me.
Alex Bowman, get it together. Please.
Oh my God. And I'm on the bandwagon. Okay, I brought the snacks.
I'm not trying to fucking get ran over by it. Okay, I'm on it. I'm just trying to keep it around a speed limit, maybe. A safe speed limit is what we're trying to rock with.
We're like on the rumble strips right now.
Yeah. So this is the first race of playoffs that JGR did not win. It was won pretty handedly by Ryan Blaney. It looked like it was going to be either Ryan Blaney, Josh Berry, or Joey Logano the whole day. And this was clearly just a track that Penske...
Not Austin Cindric.
No, because they are fucking sabotaging him and they're scared of the power that he holds. And they can't believe the phoenix that rose from the ashes of Bristol, and they think he's too powerful. And so they're doing something about it by slashing holes in his tires and holding him back from his full potential. And it's nasty work. It's nasty work, Roger Penske, and I hate to see it, but I'll take a Ryan Blaney win, I guess, as a consolation prize.
Okay. Interesting, on the same week that they announced the number 12 Penske, the number 12 Penske wins. Write that down.
Okay. It's advertising for David Malukas. Oh, good. What is this show? Josh Berry, originally it looked like he was going to have a horrible day. He, I think, got spun pretty early in the race, and everybody was like, huh, Josh Berry, back at it again. Like, turns out your luck still sucks. And then it turns out he was fine.
No, he was like totally fine.
He was spun by SVG.
By SVG. Hey guys, can I say something? So part of learning ovals is making mistakes, testing boundaries. It seemed like when a kid is going to daycare for the first time and they're stealing blocks from other kids because they just don't know. They don't know where the rules are. They don't know where the limits are. And so sometimes when you're starting to learn and, you see some progress, you see some heavy progress, your kid's still dicking around and breaking other people's crayons. And that's just growing pains, okay? So when SVG comes out and he starts the race in the top 10, that's amazing. That's really, really good. And then when he spins Josh Berry, oops, he said it was an accident. He apologized, and I believe him. But that's just part of the growing pains of learning how to do ovals.
My kid's not going anywhere near your fuck-ass kid. They're going to be gentle parented into violence. You're going to be
my kids?
He's learning. He's learning when he balls his hand up. It makes a fist that can connect with people's faces, but that's still part of learning. You have to let him punch you.
They have to test boundaries. Did you never spend 5 years of your teenage years doing daycare?
Oh, no. I wasn't allowed to. I never in my entire life have been asked to babysit somebody's kids. I think I give an aura that people know.
There is something, the fact that you don't have any siblings, I think I would be like, maybe I wouldn't. I mean, I'd let you around my kids because, like, little Jimmy, like, he knows how to throw down. So, like, it's not going to be an issue. If there's an issue, he'll handle it.
This is my son, Shane. No reason.
No reason. His middle name is BG.
Yeah, no, your kids are going to be a fucking... I'm not babysitting your kids. I already told you, the only kids I would babysit is... I think I could babysit Denny Hamlin's.
I think they would be mean to you. And I think rightfully so.
I think I could definitely babysit, like, most of the IndyCar kids. Why is it IndyCar kids, like, seem very well behaved?
We really don't see them that often. That's why they seem so well behaved.
Whereas, like, these freaking NASCAR kids, they're, like, jumping on top of cars. They're, like, running on, like, a hot track during celebration. I'm like, where do these kids go? What's going on here?
They just let them loose.
Wrangle. Yeah, no, I'm like, we gotta like wrangle these kids more. I don't know. And they all have like 6 of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like there's so many NASCAR kids. It's a bit ridiculous. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on
kids
later, guys. And then another. Don't worry though. Shane did get his payback later on because for absolutely no reason, Brad just tried to invent like a 5th lane. And he was like, I think there could be a car here. And then, unfortunately, Shane paid the price for that miscalculation.
I have never seen anyone hit the inside wall like that before. Like, there were tire marks on the, like, the,
Do you think that, like, maybe, though, like, we shouldn't discourage creativity?
No, like, if it were anybody but Brad, I'd be like, dumb, stupid, dumb, idiot. But, like, Brad doing it... I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, he's a veteran driver. He probably knows what he's doing. He knows how to like teleport through walls, so I'm not super worried about it. He just didn't know how to teleport through Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG. Shane.
Shane VG. Everybody knows. Don't act confused, guys. What are you talking about? Okay, let's talk about playoffs. So that means we have Ryan Blaney locked in for the round of 8. Mm-hmm. We have some interesting stuff going on here with the Hendrick drivers. So William Byron and Kyle Larson are sitting pretty. I think
pretty.
I think that I think it's fair to say that like Kansas could very likely be like a William Byron or a Kyle Larson win. Right? Like I could see one of them winning Kansas. Maybe it's just I'm like a bit recency bias because I think Kyle Larson won Kansas earlier this year, but I could see that happening. We have Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin also in a good place points wise. This is where we start to get though like you really don't want to leave it up to points. You got to win Kansas because the Roval could fucking ruin all this. Towards the cut line, we have Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Chase Briscoe above the cut line, but like they're the 3 that Close. I think if they don't win in Kansas, they could be a little bit more in trouble if something goes wrong for them at the Roval. Below the cutoff line, we have Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace, which had the 2311 cars had a horrible day yesterday.
Bad.
It's really. You know what, guys? Maybe this playoff structure is really fucking stupid because I just feel like Bubba has been having like good momentum and like has been doing good in the playoffs and like has been doing good this season. It's so crazy to me. He's at the bottom of the round of 12 right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did this happen? Like we had one like shitty weekend and now I'm like terrified. I mean, Austin Cindric too. I mean, he barely got in this round and he needed something beautiful to happen this weekend and it didn't happen. So I think that we're probably going to be saying goodbye to Austin Cindric. Do you think that there's anybody that's below the cutoff line or anybody that's above the cutoff line right now that could see themselves below the cutoff line between Kansas and the Roval? I'm feeling like I thought initially Joey Logano, but I do think he performed pretty well this weekend.
He did. I mean, there was a good chance he could have won, but that's like that's a Penske track. I don't think Kansas is as much of a Penske track. I could see like Ross Chastain dicking around and accidentally winning, and then bumping Chase Briscoe into the belows, the nether regions.
I could see. Yeah, I think Ross Chastain. He's not gonna go quietly into the good night at the Roval.
No,
okay, he's gonna do something really insane, and I'm gonna support him through it because I think it's fun. He embodies the spirit of the Roval.
I think Chase, Elliott. I think he could win the Roval.
God, oh brother, this guy stinks.
He's won there before. I know. I've seen the edits. There's only 6 of them total, so I've seen the edits.
I think
he also did send it into the wall in the first lap. What?
Last year?
No, back in the way beyond.
Before we got here. Chase Elliott did have like a little something this weekend. He had a horrible qualifying. He looked really sad he debuted a mustache
and a haircut.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, maybe there's something there. I really hope that if we're going to do the like Team Penske decides to start doing good when we get to the playoffs bullshit, then I better see an Austin Cindric win in Kansas. Okay. If that's the only way I'm going to be okay with this. You get a Ryan Blaney win. I'm fine with it. I draw the line at Joey Logano making it to the round of 8 because I didn't have that on my bracket and I'm not allowing it.
It's an odd year. I was promised he wasn't gonna. I was promised.
You guys said he wasn't gonna do that.
You guys told me he doesn't do it on the odd years. I'd love to see Austin Cindric win. I feel so bad for Bubba. Like, him being so low. Like, Tyler Reddick, he's kind of just had, his year is kind of a year to forget, period. But I felt like Bubba has had a pretty good run up until this last abysmal race where it wasn't even his fault. It was his car.
But it's just like one fucking race. And now we are like all hands on deck. Like, I'm like, this is too much for me. I thought it was fun when it was other people's favorites. When it's mine, I'm not having as much fun. Actually, that's not even true. Most of my favorites in NASCAR do poorly. So when bad things happen to them, I go, it's deserved, maybe. I don't know.
You
like,
go,
Bubba.
Rats. Anyways.
Oh, Alex Bowman. Fuck it. Yeah, that's probably what would have happened. Fair enough. Or like even Austin Cindric, if he gets out in the round of 12, I'm going to be like, that is probably what I thought was going to happen. I just didn't want to accept it.
I mean, he needs some time to prepare for Gold Coast.
That's what
he needs to figure out how to left in right foot brake at the same time.
Both of them. Just like this with your feet on the brake.
For power. Yeah, for power, take a screenshot.
I low-key though, part of me, I'm like, Denny, you do not have the spirit of the Roval. I'm going to need you to just do really good at Kansas, please, so that we don't have to get you anywhere near that cutoff line, because you do not have the spirit of the Roval. Of the people on this list, who I think has the least spirit of the Roval is Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin. Who do you think has the spirit of the Roval?
No, I'm so glad you asked. Let me pull my list back up. I think not Joey Logano.
No spirit of the Roval.
No spirit of the Roval. I think, obviously, I've stated before, Chase Elliott has the spirit of the Roval. I think Austin Cindric has the spirit of the Roval. Not statistically, but, like, mentally.
Spirit.
Physically. Yeah. And then I think Ross Chastain does have the spirit of the Roval. Once again, not performance-based or statistically, but, like,
spiritually.
Mentally. Yeah.
I hope that the Laps Down legacy is that, like, someday we hear, like, on the teardown them being like, who has the spirit of the Roval? Like, I want the spirit of the Roval to be, like, our legacy in a way.
We haven't really harped on the Roval as much these past few months, so I kind of feel like we've kind of let the legacy die a little bit. Because at the beginning, multiple times an episode, every episode, even in the off season, we were like, not as good as the Roval.
What do you guys think the Roval's like this time of year?
Yeah.
If you guys are new here, fun fact, next week is our 1-year anniversary. And it might give you guys a good reason to follow us on Instagram, because we might be cooking something up over there for our 1-year anniversary. But also, if you wanted to, like, you know, revisit, walk down memory lane, this whole podcast, in an essence, started with the Roval. I think our first, like, non-introductory episode is about the Roval. And I do remember like Chase Briscoe getting eliminated at the Roval, and that resonated with us.
Yeah, he had the curse of the twins.
If there's anything good in the world, they'll let it happen again.
I remember being part of it was just the fact we were shocked, because we were like, oh, they race at road courses?
Yeah.
Sorry?
And then we were like, believe that Roval genuinely meant road
oval. That was baffling to me. Wow. Truly changed my life. Truly did.
Yeah. So feel free to walk down that memory lane, guys. I think the title of the episode is Rovin' at the Roval. It's good stuff. And I think it's our first substantive episode of Laps Down.
Well,
as substantive as it gets. Speaking of substance, do we want to talk about IMSA so that we have some in this episode? Oh, wait. Fan favorite. Fuck. Fan favorite. My fan favorite is, in a way, it has to be Denny Hamlin, because he saved the race from being completely boring. He added, like, the juiciest storyline he could, which is, like, teammates fighting. That's always going to be a banger. And then, just to, like, top off, like, his fan favoriteness of it all, he has his own podcast in which he's, like, dissecting the drama as if it's not being broadcast to the entire world. And I just think there's nobody that does it quite like Denny. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing it like him.
That's a really good one. My fan favorite is Josh Berry, because I was really worried about him after last week. I was like, he must be so down in the dumps. That boy is sad. He seemed so sad when his lungs were engulfed in flames. But then he came back this weekend, and there was a real moment where I was like, I think he's gonna win. So he's my fan favorite because it just shows that he's doing the Phoenix thing that we wanted to see from Austin Cindric.
Rise from the ashes.
It doesn't matter now. Yeah, rise from the ashes.
There's still time, Cindy boy. Rise from those ashes.
Rise, Cindy.
Oh God. Okay, IMSA. Let's quickly move on before this gets too derailed. So we watched IMSA, and we'll talk a little bit about specifically the people whose races we were following. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I watch endurance racing specifically. It's like there's so many classes, there's so many hours, there's so much that can go wrong in a time. And there's also like a lot of the people that I enjoy, they actually aren't usually that heavily featured in the commentary, thus meaning you have to follow their races on your own. Interestingly, though, something I would like to point out, the second half of the 6-hour race at IMS was on the NBC main channel, while the NASCAR race was running simultaneously on USA Network. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They got that juicy prime time spot for IMSA.
Damn.
And it was fun because when I switched over from watching it on Peacock to the actual like NBC broadcast, they did like a fun like introducing you to IMSA thing. Like, welcome, we've been on racing for 3 hours already. Like, here's what the different classes are. Like, here's what we're rocking with. And I was like,
I like that.
Here's what we're rocking with. Okay, let's go. But do we want to just kind of go through one by one the people who we were watching their race with interest?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
We'll start with Mike Rockenfeller, Rocky, as we endearingly call him. If you guys are not sure why we love Rocky, I highly recommend you watch our episode on the American Thunder NASCAR to Le Mans, which is on our YouTube. We talk about the entire documentary that they did about taking a NASCAR to Le Mans. And Rocky was a key part of that lineup, and we became endeared with him. He just showed he has the spirit of the Roval, might I say.
Yeah, oh my God, he so does.
He so has the spirit of the Roval. And yeah, I think he did the Roval.
He did the Roval, I think.
Yeah, they literally were like, you just embody this track. We got to get you on it. Will Brown to the Roval win? You know what I mean? Like, there's people, you just see them on the street and you just go, oh, you have the spirit of the Roval.
Dude, Will Brown and Brody Kostecki to the Roval ASAP. Report ASAP.
Get your asses to the Roval now. You gotta get there. But yeah, what happened with Rocky's race?
Oh, he did wonderfully. He did very good. I'm so glad you asked. He actually won the GTD Pro.
Period.
And the week of Jimmy Johnson's birthday, too. Jimmy Johnson turned 50. Happy birthday.
Friend. America Le Mans legends. And he, I think, was in like a 2-driver lineup, which I thought was interesting. So I'm assuming that they had to do like a little bit longer stints. I actually don't know. I'm going to shut up because I'm not certain about that.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay. Who's next on our list that you wanted to talk about? Tom
Blomqvist.
I don't want to sweet my delivery for Tom.
He famously was one of my favorite IndyCar drivers, gone but not forgotten. And they had gotten pole position. Did you hear this? On Saturday, the day that they did qualifying for pole position. And then unfortunately, when they took it into the little oven for inspecting, it did not pass. It did not exceed expectations. In fact, it failed expectations. And so they said, get to the back. And so he did get to the back. However, he fought his way up to pole third by the end of the race, which was really exciting. It was cool to see it because
when they get P3 at the end of the race, that's actually podium 3.
Oh, podium 3. My apologies. But it was really cool because for a lot of the race, I didn't see him because as he was banished to the back. But then at the end, I was like, is that the Ask ROI of my friend Tom? And
He's in his Renus VK
costume. Yeah.
I love to see it. Congratulations, Tom. Now, this is somebody else that is very, very, very near and dear to this podcast. And I am not even going to begin to speak to the importance of this moment because I just genuinely am not prepared to. But we saw the comeback of our American hero, Logan Sargent. What did you think about his race, MJ?
Oh, I mean, I'm kind of just a casual fan, but I thought he did pretty well. Even the commentators at one point were saying how well he was doing. I don't have it near me. It's in the closet. I'm not going to. But he did pretty well.
Fucking ass now. It could have been so good. The fucking hat, but it's fine. I get it. You're not serious about YouTube like I am. We're never going to get a fucking play button if you don't go get the hat.
If we don't have good thumbnails. Yeah, anyway, true.
Talk about Logan.
So this was his first weekend racing since he jumped out of the burning car last year in Formula One.
Zandvoort, scary. He got scared of the banking. He had to go.
He said, I gotta go. He said, if I'm going to be racing in banking, it's going to be at IMS. I'm just kidding.
Got to get my ass to America.
I got to get my ass to an oval real quick. But he did pretty well. They did get an unfortunate penalty. Did you write about the penalty?
No.
Okay, well, they had an unfortunate penalty, which just kind of screwed them up. But even the broadcast was saying that he was doing a really good job. He was featured a lot on the broadcast. They were being very, welcoming to him. It was just really, truly filled my heart with joy and glee to see. And PR1 Motorsport, which is who he races for, boy, they were milking the Logan Sargent fans. And I was like, good for you. You guys deserve it. Suddenly the social media manager is working overtime and they did a great job. Shout out to them. But it was really, really cool.
I saw a lot of him on screen kind of fighting during his stint. And he was getting a little bit, initially when he first got out there, he was kind of getting pushed around a little bit. I think just him needing to figure out what it was going to look like, trying to work through traffic and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And it's the LMP2 class was doing a lot of dicking around.
It's very pushy. It's a very pushy class to be in.
Yeah.
And he was getting a little pushed. But then I feel like he really started to settle in. They said exact words that his pace and racecraft looked exceptional. That's what they said on the broadcast. Also, I saw somebody on Twitter, I think, that was just hey, I'm a Logan Sargent fan. Can IMSA fans give it to me straight? How was that for your debut? And from what I've seen, generally, people that really follow IMSA, they said, he stayed out of trouble. He brought the car back in one piece. He found his way carefully through lots of lap traffic and lots of pushy LMP2s. And he also, I think, set the second fastest lap for the class during the race. And he, I think, was really starting to find some pace towards the end of his stint. And they said that he looks like he has a really good future in sports car racing. And I think that that's where he wants to be. He kind of made it sound like sports car racing is where he wants to be. So I think I'm willing to let the Logan Sargent to IndyCar dreams die.
No.
I just think he was having such a good time.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to let it die, but I'll give it to him for a minute. I'll be you know what? Sports cars seems really fun.
For a year and
but
a
I'm
half tops.
How many more years can Will Power do? Eventually someone's going to have to fill his seat. And if it's not going to be Colton, it's going to have to be you, I fear.
Who has a better race car driver name, Will Power or Logan Sargent?
They're so good. Those are good race car driver names. Mm-hmm. They're good. And I would love to see them on a team sometime.
Do you guys think that those are the best race car driver names that we have right now?
Right.
In motorsports?
Why? Of the ones we watch, I think those are the two best. But I think Jimmy Johnson, that's a NASCAR name. It's your first name and your last name kind of sound the same. Jimmy Johnson,
that is a what race car driver name. If you're looking for somebody to put as a spokesperson for a brand, which is exactly what NASCAR was at the time. You know what I mean? It was so 100%. Good for that.
No, Will Power and Logan Sargent. Those are good race car driver names.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Okay. We also were watching Brock. They brought our good boy Brock over all the way from Australia.
Randomly. They literally dropped it. They didn't even announce it or anything. I got a notification from the Supercars app on Wednesday, and I texted Andrea, and I go...
And it was he's in America right now.
he's like in the car. Like, did you know that? Had you heard anything that this was happening? And best kept secret. So he somehow snuck in to IMS and was racing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. Wish I could have mentally prepared for that.
Unfortunately, he had just the darndest time. Before he even got in the car for his stint, there was some sort of sensor issue that was happening with the car. They were trying to fix it. They were 6 laps down, and then they had a drive-through penalty because of like having to go through the pits for something, and it just got to be a whole thing before Brock even got in the car. So I don't think he had a fun time. I think they finished last in their class. I just thought, like, guys, it's a really long flight from Australia, and he really needs to be preparing for Bathurst / the Roval, maybe. So,
Right.
you guys,
Well,
like,
I mean,
really,
he's already here. Could we just get him to Kansas? I mean,
yeah,
Kansas and IMS,
don't
like,
waste my time like this. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like, well, it's funny you
something to
mentioned
think
that
about.
because on the broadcast, they were like kind of saying it as like, I don't know if this is public knowledge or not, but SVG is like really working to try to get him a NASCAR ride. Hasn't worked since. I'm assuming they didn't specify much more than that. I'm assuming that this is along the lines of what Brock was talking about earlier this year, where he really wanted to do an Xfinity race, and somehow Will Brown kind of just like took his opportunity to do the Xfinity race, which I'm still like, it's really good that
That's
you're good with
crazy.
that, Brock, because that's crazy. But I don't know. I think it's interesting that SVG is like an MLM. It's like he started he's like recruiting 3 under him, and then they have to like recruit 3 under them, and before you know it, it's like Supercars has just accidentally invaded all American motorsports. But like they're having so much fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. And then last but not least, we were also watching the race of our wonderful Fred Vesti, who we've shouted out several times already on this pod. We just love him dearly. And he won his first ever endurance race this weekend. Yeah. Soak it in. Yeah. Love that for you, Fred Vesti.
The baby.
See what happens when he gets let out of that sim room Mercedes.
He's good at driving a car. You just gotta give him a chance. And also really weirdly good at social media this weekend. Like, he was pumping out content that I feel like he was scripting and setting up. I was like, this is kind of, where did this come from? He goes to Indianapolis for 1 week and he's like, I feel the spirit.
Can we get him on lap traffic, do you think?
Fred Vesti?
Yeah. Do you think he's too big time for us?
Maybe
he has not a lot
Formula
of engagement
One
on his TikToks. So like maybe we can just start commenting on all his TikToks and be like, Fred,
please. I think Formula One Fred Vesti we couldn't get on an episode. I think IMSA Fred Vesti we could get on an episode.
Maybe like around the Rolex 24 or something, we like reach out.
I'm not
like,
opposed.
Are you in IMSA? Are you in IMSA mode right now, Fred Vesti? Would you like to come on our pod? Love you, Fred. Love to see it for you. The last time I saw Fred, I think his car was burning up at the Rolex 24 with him in it while I was sleeping in the grandstands.
His race was very sad to watch. It was very sad to watch.
I awoke to the announcer being like, I think Fred Vesti is having a really bad time down there. And I like woke up, emerged from my cocoon of blankets, and he was having a bad time directly in front of me. I was like, Fred.
Keeping you warm.
MG's going to hate to see this. Come on. Get it running again. Come on. She's going to be upset. The commentators were going, it was a very new person friendly IMSA broadcast. And I really appreciate it's a very, very, very confusing motorsport. I'll admit, I watch a lot of motorsports. I struggle with multi-class racing. But they told me what it wasn't.
It was Townsend Bell, by the way, if this helps set the scene. But, sorry, carry on, Andrea.
They kind of were like going through, at times, like what IMSA is not. Mm-hmm. And some notable things IMSA is not is it's not for babies.
No.
Do you remember what the context was of this? They were saying IMSA is not for babies.
It was when we were having the issues with blocking early in the race. Both of these were about like the blocking controversies.
IMSA is not for babies.
Mm-mm.
Similarly, IMSA, not NASCAR. You cannot rub in his racing in IMSA.
No. I mean, they do, but you cannot.
You're not supposed to.
It is not. Yeah.
It is not NASCAR. So it's important to keep in mind, guys, if you are new to IMSA, IMSA is not for babies and it is not NASCAR.
No.
And feel free to put in the comments anything else you think IMSA is not. You know what I mean? I think just to clear it up for the new people, I think Lapstown is a great resource, and we are going to tell you what IMSA is not.
Is not.
It is not for babies, and it is not NASCAR. And frankly, it is not for Logan Sargent haters. It's not.
No.
It's not for you.
It is not for that.
It is not for people with ADHD, it seems like sometimes.
No, it is not for that.
It is not for people that just want to watch their favorite on screen. It's not for you. You're never going to see your favorite on screen. They're not the person that the commentators are ever going to talk about. It's not.
It is not.
Feel
they
free
are
to
not.
In comments what you guys think IMSA is not. I'm going to get like shaken baby syndrome.
I'm going to get shaken baby syndrome. You're the ripe age of mid-20s. That's crazy, Andrea. We have to finish. We have to keep going.
We're only at like 2 hours.
That is like not true. This is not a 2-hour podcast.
It is not. It is not. Okay. There's lots of chatter about driving standards. I think we even had a tweet from Kyle Kirkwood where he was like, I love IMSA driving standards. Do you see how they are behaving nicely and they're not allowed to run into each other? What do you think?
Yeah, because Connor Daly responded to that and I was like, oh, I actually don't care anymore.
Not fucking Connor, please be serious.
Connor,
let the adults are speaking right now. Please, Connor.
Please, Connor.
What did Connor say? That sounds fun. What is that like? James and Connor, both of you. Time out.
James who?
James Hinchcliffe. He said, so Kyle Kirkwood said, loving the driver's standings in this IMSA race. He added IMSA. It's like, please, like, what do you want them to do? Respond to you, Kyle? Whatever. Clout chaser. So cool to see the cars side by side for a multitude of corners. And Connor Daly said, that sounds fun. He has one response. Is somebody bullying him? Yes. James Hinchcliffe said, what's that like? James, what do you mean?
Didn't Kyle Kirkwood famously try to massacre Venus Rike? Venus Rike?
Venus Rike. That's my drag queen name. Venus Rike.
Venus Rike. Wait, that's kind of good.
Yeah. And then
okay.
Somebody else responded. He paid for a check mark on Twitter. Okay, he's not actually famous. He responded with Christian Rasmussen could never. Yeah, because Christian Rasmussen is trying to save IndyCar. What are you losers doing?
Sorry,
Nothing.
Race winner Christian Rasmussen, friend of the pod, laps down guest Christian Rasmussen. Keep my wife's name.
No, okay. What did you think? I feel like there was times where I feel like it is fun to see the cars like race side by side with each other and they don't just ram into each other. There's a horrible part of my brain. There's a bad brain. Bad. Where I'm like, well, we can rub and race a little. Why be so afraid of penalties when we could like allow them to rub and race a little?
Is the thing that they get like penalized for rubbing?
I think it's just like if something were to happen, like a car go off track, a yellow flag have to come out, you will be penalized harshly. That it is a deterrent from you even trying. So it leads to them racing very best behavior because the deterrent is so strong against the penalties you will get. I also will say I think this is a rather recent thing. Like throughout the IMSA season, they have been changing these rules to the point where these penalties have gotten harsher because it was not like this. I felt like when I went to the Rolex, it was like, I mean, Connor Zilic was like massacring people out there and I was cheering. I was like, woo! Get him, Connor! Woo! But now I think it's like a very sophisticated sport. The pinnacle of motorsports, some would say.
I agree that it is the pinnacle of motorsport. Can I bring up my next point?
Yeah, we can move on. I don't really care about this stupid. I was just trying to contribute to the dialogue of motorsports.
I completely agree. But speaking of the pinnacle of motorsport, did you see that guy's hood just come off and the car keep going? Did you see that? The hood came off, there were no cars around it, and they were like, that's just physics.
What does that mean? Who said
That's a
that? Townsend?
threat.
Townsend doesn't know physics.
No, Townsend was gone at this point.
I don't know. I think that's fun. What can I say?
Oh, I was exhilarated by it, but it felt threatening because I was like, what could that happen to me?
It could happen to any of these cars on track right now. Is that what you're telling me?
Nobody's safe. I just thought that was
speaking of it also being the pinnacle of motorsports, you and I were flabbergasted. You put gobsmacked,
Sure.
in awe of the power of IMSA when we had 8 minutes left on the clock. So if you're new to IMSA or like endurance racing in general, they're not racing laps, they're racing time. And when the caution comes out, that time is still ticking. We had 8 minutes left on the clock. A yellow came out for a car, just sending it into a concrete wall. Lots of little pieces of car. A full back end of the car on the track. They put out the yellow and they cleaned it up so fast because they were determined that this race was not going to end under yellow. So they were like, we do not have 8 minutes to clean this up. We have 3, 4, so that we can get 2 more laps in. And they did it.
It was crazy. You and I were both like, oh, it sucks that this is going to end under yellow, but like it was a really good race. And they were like, we're not ending this under yellow. They're like, thank God this car crashed into this concrete wall. Thank goodness it was a concrete wall that this man just sent himself into.
Safety barrier.
Thank God. They're like, you know what? I think we could just scooch him backwards and get him behind the wall and we could get this going real quick. And it was just like the most orderly thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, yeah, gobsmacked. I was like, this is the most professional motorsport I've ever seen. Like, they're not dicking around here. There's no overtime.
No, they were not dicking around at all, which is the perfect way to put it. This car is outside being loud again. Like, what are we going to do about it? Like,
go get him.
I feel like I have to. It's like every week when we film, like there's this like asshole who drives by. Do you think he's a hate listener of Laps Down?
I bet so. It's a hate listener with a Miata. I know it.
Fucking get a life, dude. Anywho, I think that is the perfect way to end our IMSA segment and also our podcast for the week. Do you have anything that you would like to say as your birthday wish, birthday girl?
My birthday wish is that Austin Cindric wins at Kansas.
Heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody in the comments say happy birthday to MJ and also be sure to blow out the candles on her behalf and wish for a Cindy win in Kansas. Cindy wind in the windy city.
Kansas? Cindy win?
There's tornadoes there that Dorothy gets swept up in. Duh, everybody knows that.
Tornado Alley, huh? What part of Kansas? No, it doesn't matter. We can't keep doing this. We have to go. It's bedtime.
All of it is Tornado Alley. Please, focus up, lady.
That is, no, we're not doing this. We have to go.
Is Kansas near Iowa?
Andrea.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Just keep an eye out for those fucking tornadoes that Cindy could cause. He's going to be going in an oval so fast, it's going to create a tornado.
That is so crazy. The Windy City. Cindy Windy.
Can we start calling him Cindy?
We can call him Sid. If he's cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Austin, are you cool with calling you Cindy? I'm pausing for him to answer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he might be busy right now. We'll wait on an answer another time. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the Laps Down podcast. We'll see you again next week. Okay, bye! Wait. Oh, we also have a video going up on ATYL's YouTube this week, and it is going to be us giving a report card to all of the IndyCar teams. Keep an eye on that if you're interested. Okay, now we'll say bye. Bye!
Bye!